Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the following program. I am your host, Joe Neerman, a.k.a. Good Lawgic. Tonight, I got a whole bunch of things going on. A whole bunch of different crazy stories that I really want to get to. The three main topics that we will get to, the primary one that I'm planning on spending much of my time on, is this evolving battle between Candace Owens and TPUSA, trying to establish, do they got to sue this woman at this point? Do they have to sue her? Because like at a certain point, I think we might, for one reason or another, they might have to sue her at a certain point. They really might. And will they? Will they? I'd really like to hear from some of you guys who are the evangelicals in the group, trying and weigh in on that. That's certainly something I plan on covering. Also tonight, we have a pardon that, frankly, I didn't see coming, and probably for many of you, you may be wondering about, if you heard the news, there was new releases of Epstein Island stuff that is brand new, never seen by human eyes before, that the House released today as part of the turnover of the files and stuff like that. There's got photos, they got videos, stuff like that. They say it's brand new, but is it really? Is it really? I mean, maybe for most of the world it's brand new. Maybe. I think some of this might have been in the court filings of United States versus Ghislaine Maxwell. Some of the pictures I saw in there, I was like, that looks familiar. So I'm going to share with you what to me looks new versus what they're saying is new. And for most of you, unless you went through the files, I don't think that stuff was redacted. Meaning, if you wanted to see some of this stuff they shared, that on this, a lot of it was redacted. But the stuff they share with the viewing audience who was attending the Maxwell trial, that stuff you could have just pulled from online if you wanted to. They're all part of the court filings. So it's not really new. It's just a matter now it's being splashed in front of your face. That it's like, here it is. It's not really new, some of it, but you likely haven't seen it, because unless you were like ferreting around trying to find it, you're just sort of like digging like some niffler, trying to just you probably wouldn't have found it. But I'll tell you what is actually new, at least the best of my recollection, versus what was certainly included in court filings when they were trying to establish the swanky posh lifestyle that was going on there in Little St. James, aka Epstein Island. So those three stories I got covering for you, but I have a lot of other stories that if we get to an extra hour, and I put up our normal goal for tonight, normal standard goal is 15 super chats of $10 or more. I count Rumble rants when the chants are a little bit higher. So, certainly if they're pink or red, I certainly try to bump those up and count those for more. So yeah, but we hit 15 of those within 2 hours. I got way more than 3 hours worth of content that I can give you. I can go here forever. Okay. And that's for a couple of reasons. There's really three reasons for that. One, I have a lot of really good stuff. Two is I tend to sort of bob and weave and end up talking about things that aren't even necessarily part of the story and part of my commentary. So I end up taking a little bit longer than normal. And the third reason is because this guy just doesn't ever shut up. He's always talking.
Hey, what are we doing? What's going on? Good evening, chat. What's going on?
I'm joined tonight. If you knew, I'm joined tonight by Sin, who is here to co-host with me. Mm-hmm. He's kind of, I guess, my Wednesday night regular.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That is
literally what you told me.
That's literally what
literally what you said.
kind of my Wednesday night regular.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. I mean,
I mean,
at
if you
10
want to
o'clock
change
you
that,
are. At 10 o'clock you are. Now I'm sort of like, at this point I gotta
you're gonna
reassess.
reassess now of all time.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I will tell you, some people are saying Gouveia is still going. And what
Mhm.
I basically have told everyone is this. I don't want to always start. In general, he can go for like a while because he goes through his dono chat. So I never want to ever cut him off when he's in the middle of covering stories.
Mhm.
But when he gets into his dono chat, which that can sometimes last 10 minutes or sometimes it can last like 40. So at that point,
Yeah.
if it's past 6:30 and we're into the dono chat section, I will jump in on at that point.
Oh
So,
yeah. Yeah.
because he's reading chats and reacting to different comments that people paid. Because I do it, I try to blend it in, squeezing it in where it fits with a story, and he sort of backlogs them and then goes through them. Maybe
Mhm.
because he's got much better memory than I do. I don't remember what I just said 20 minutes ago. So I struggle with what I said 5 minutes ago. So, I do remember saying that, here's Nano is coming in here saying, okay, I'll start. So God bless you for that. And Brian Oldenkamp,
Thank you.
ever, this guy is like diehard supporter of the show, Brian. God bless you,
Mm.
pushing us towards our goal. He's like,
He's just
Joe,
gonna keep doing it. Yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna hit you. You want to do it that way? I'll do it that way. You could let me do it like in one shot, but all right. Look, he's gonna do what he's gonna do,
mm,
and that's cool. And I appreciate the support.
yeah.
So
That's what Jim did to me the other night on my goal. He just
I,
kept going. You should grift harder because I set just a small goal, and then he just nailed it with a bunch of $2 chats. I was like, thanks, Jim. I appreciate that.
But isn't that exciting? He's now
Yeah.
monetized.
Hmm.
This is a new thing for him. When he first
Yeah.
came to the show, he was not monetized. No
Nope.
one could ever give him any money.
Nope.
But now he's in a new world. When you make that, do you remember what your first super chat was? Do you remember what it was?
Yeah. It was a. I think it was a red boy. I think it was $100. Was the
Wow,
first thing. Yeah. I mean, we've done very well over the past 2 weeks.
that's awesome.
Very, very well.
I'm
I
so happy
appreciate
for you.
everybody. Yeah.
That is great.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. I feel as if I'm like helping you, like, feed your family. So that makes me feel good. That
Well,
makes me
you
feel
are
really
a
good.
little bit. Yeah, you definitely are. I appreciate it. I really do.
Yeah.
It gives you a little more pep to do a show when you know that at the end of it you can look at it and go, "Wow, look at people really appreciated what we did and
Yeah.
enjoyed us." So yeah,
Yeah.
it's great.
No, that's it's both the financial element to it and also
Yeah,
feeling appreciated.
yeah.
And
Oh, for sure.
yeah, so that's very, very cool. I'm really, really happy. I'll tell you right now, like, I got my start. Other people helped promote me and thrust me into the spotlight,
Hmm.
and that's how I got my start. So to the extent I'm ever able to pay it forward to folks, I'm happy to do that. So
Yeah, I really appreciate it. Now we're on to 1,000 to get the ad revenue next, so we'll get there. It'll work.
you'll get
Yeah,
there. You'll get there soon enough. We gotta get you over that hurdle, because that
yeah.
little subtle income is a nice thing too. That's so. Anyhow, should we start with Candace? I'm feeling
I
like that
think so.
story's gonna
Yeah,
take a while.
I think so.
I got
Yeah.
a lot of links on that.
Yeah.
I got a
I think
lot
a
of
lot
links
of
on that.
people are sort of like their bellies full of Candace. So get that out of the way and get to the more interesting stuff, I think.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you that. I mean, she's been difficult to listen to of late.
No.
For the last like year. She's been really difficult to listen to. And it's sort of like heartbreaking.
Yeah. Is it
Because
because she took the hard turn into anti-Semitism, or is it just her rhetoric in general?
it's kind of
Which
hard for
one?
me to get past that first part.
Yeah, I get it. That makes sense.
It's kind of hard for me to get past that first part.
Yeah.
Um and I definitely think she's got a problem with the Jews.
I think
Uh,
so too. I don't disagree. But she when she wore the shirt with Kanye West, right? Something about white people. I forget what it was. That really, everybody's eyebrow raised, and a lot of people were sort of turned off by that. And instead of trying to, I don't want to say it like this, keep her on the farm and figure out like what's going on. I think
yeah.
the breakup with Daily Wire really made her
Oh, that broke her.
Yeah.
That
I
broke her.
think I think she saw and what's his name? The guy that actually owns Daily Wire, he's not even Jewish, he's a Christian. Um,
Yeah.
so
Someone with a B, right?
yeah, I forget his name. He's been out of the spotlight since he fired Candace.
Yeah.
Like I
Hey,
haven't seen hide nor hair of him.
yeah,
So
he had that. He stepped into the spotlight when he had a bit of a tete-a-tete with Crowder.
yeah, over that contract, that 10 I think it was a $10 million contract. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah,
Mhm.
there was something like that, and he had like a
Jeremy
little bit of
Boring.
a
Yeah.
yes, that's the word. That's
Yeah.
the name. Uzelian coming in there with that.
Yeah.
Good job, Uzelian. Yeah, Jeremy Boring. So I don't think he's Jewish either, but
He's
she
not. He's
definitely
Christian. Because I looked it up because I was like, well, if he's the actual CEO, granted they have a board and everything else, right? But the face of it is definitely Ben
yeah,
Shapiro.
yeah.
But the guy making the decisions is boring. And like you could do the normal anti-Semitic thing and going, well, he's just what do they call him? What's the rude phrase that they use? I'm not an anti-Semite, so I don't know.
They say I'm anti-Zionist, not anti-Semitic. That's what they always say.
No. Like I've heard her say like he's not anything to Daily Wire. He's just a Shabbos goy or something like that. Isn't that what they?
Oh,
Is that? Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like,
anyone who's using that term hates
yeah.
Jews. That's a way of
Okay.
saying
Yeah.
I hate Jews.
Yeah.
Because
Okay.
I want to
So yeah.
make you because I want to make you think that Jews spit in your face. So that's why
Uh-huh.
that's why I'm gonna basically use that term, because you're gonna look up that term
And then
and
go from there. Yeah.
yeah,
Okay.
and then
Yeah.
go for exactly.
Gotcha.
So that's a term that's embraced whenever the two terms that I hear, and I'm like, and I don't like to label anyone
Uh-huh.
specifically anti-Semite. I really don't. I try to. I'll be like, they seem adjacent. They
Yeah.
seem very comfortable with
Uh-huh.
anti-Semites. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So, like, I'll give you an example, right?
Hmm.
I would not call Tucker Carlson an anti-Semite. And I
No.
know a lot of
Yeah.
people. I know a lot of people that in good faith do. I don't call him that. I think he's very comfortable
Yeah.
with
We had this
anti-Semites.
conversation before. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't. So I don't like. But she's just like, ugh, like this is like, my
Well,
God, woman,
if you take any
my
power
God,
away
woman.
from Christians in a company, community, whatever you want to say, and say it's all the Jews running it, well, definitely now you're leaning into anti-Semitism. That's sort of like that would say that I have no voice on this channel when I'm sitting here being a co-host with you because, well, I'm your Shabbos goy. I'm just here
Yeah.
for whatever reason, right? But no, like you allow me
That's a
my own
real
autonomy.
that's a real bastardization of the term in using in that context. I know that you're saying that that's how they use it.
Yeah,
The
that's
origin of
exactly
what
it,
it
though.
is, the origin of what it is
Hmm.
this. You know how like on Shabbos, where I sometimes refer to Sabbath, the
Yeah,
Shabbos
yeah,
in Hebrew
yeah.
Shabbos, that I'm always like I'm not allowed to stream now. Like I don't do
You're
work. I'm
not.
not
Yeah,
allowed to
you have
stream.
a whole bunch of rules that you have to do for
There's a
them. Yeah,
lot of there's like
yeah,
really like a lot of rules. I
yeah.
mean, I can walk you through like it's really is like there's 39 main
We gotta
band
save that for a show one time.
activities. There's
Yeah.
39 main band activities,
Mhm.
and each of them splinter into dozens, and in some cases
Oof.
hundreds of
Oof.
different ways that manifest on either a what we call a biblical level or a
Uh-huh.
rabbinical level. But the Shabbos goy, or it's not goy. I mean, it's funny. It's we would say as guy, not
Gotcha.
goy,
Okay. Yeah, yeah.
not like boy. It's
Okay.
like e, not o e.
Okay, I got
So
you.
so
So, yeah,
so
everybody's even
I'm gonna
saying it wrong then. Okay.
when they say it, I'm like, oh, you say it like such a guy. So
Oh.
oh my gosh. Yeah, no, so that is how like so they'll pronounce it that way.
Yeah.
It's a reference to the fact that certain circumstances
Mhm,
in very, very limited ways, if
mhm.
there's like an emergency type of circumstance and there's a friendly neighbor non-Jew
Got you.
who is able to like pinch in when a family or a community has like a dire need. So there's certain dispositions to like or dispensations
Mhm.
to basically hint to a non-Jew that we really could use the situation really could use a hand from someone who's not Sabbath observant.
Gotcha.
So, and this has come up in my house. You're supposed to rely on it as infrequently as possible. It'll come
Mhm.
up. It'll come to my house like twice a year.
Okay.
Like, and it'll be a situation. Here's a classic situation. Okay. Um, my grandkids are over. A 4-year-old comes over and turns on the light for where someone's supposed to be sleeping that night. So
Mhm.
basically, you have a light on in a bedroom. So we're not allowed to turn the lights on. We're not allowed to turn the lights off. So or if we forgot to reheat the water for the heater, it's
Yeah.
freezing outside,
Mhm.
right? So you're not allowed to cook water. That's one of the things we're not allowed to cook anything.
Yeah.
So it's considered cooking water if you run water into the heater. So we're not allowed to do that.
Mhm.
So in that type of circumstance, people could like freeze to death. So you would actually like you try to find a friendly neighbor and sort of hint to them that you could really use them stopping by and just spend like 30 seconds like refilling the boiler and then they leave and that's it.
So you're
So
not allowed to directly ask them. You have
we're
to
actually
sort of
not
hint.
we're actually not supposed to directly ask. Right, that's correct.
Okay. Got you.
If- and and there's a lot of restrictions even about doing that, and you have to really know what you're doing to do it
Mhm.
properly. It's a very complicated area of Jewish life, in particular with dealing with a Shabbos guy type of situation. But
Yeah.
the implication of the anti-Semite is like that we're spitting on them, or we treat them like
Yeah,
garbage,
that they're
or that
your
we're having them do our manual labor for us. When it's
yes.
like
Yeah.
literally they'll come in, flip on a light switch. I'm like, hey, you want some cake? You want some coffee? I'll
Yeah.
offer them like food and like stuff like that because I want them, I want to send them off with something,
Yeah.
and it's like, and I wouldn't do it if it was someone. It's actually to some degree a sign of respect that like I let you in my house. There's a lot of people out there I wouldn't just let walk into my house. So yeah, it's so in that sense, it's co-opted for the
Uh-huh.
purpose of trying to make it seem as if, oh, we spit at you. Like, no, I'm like,
Trying to
no,
denigrate
you're
the person doing it, like they're below
yes.
you. Yeah.
Yeah,
Got
it's kind of like like the house what they used to refer to the
you. Easy.
the
Calm down.
house.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
What
Yeah.
was it? The house, the house Frenchman. I think that's what it was.
Yeah,
The
that's
house
it. The
Frenchman.
house Frenchman. Sure.
Yeah, the house frog. So
Where did that come from? Jeez.
that's how they make it sound like. And it's like,
Yeah.
no, it's not like that at all. Like it's like literally it'll be like they'll spend less than like 90 seconds a year in my house if it comes up twice. Because the whole thing when they pop in, it'll be like 15 seconds and they're just being neighborly and like doing if they ask me to like help them change a tire, I help them change a tire, but
Yeah.
this is something I need them from them that I can't do myself. Anyway,
That's so funny.
so whenever I hear someone say, "Oh yeah, the Shabbos goy," I'm like, okay, this is someone who does not like Jews. Because if you look it up and you don't hear the actual explanation, you're gonna find something that's gonna basically come
Yeah, I
across
get
as
it.
if
I get like the inference of what they're trying to do. And
yeah,
also like I'm not fully, ignorant to what it actually is too. Y'all have things that you have to do to maintain your religious sanctity, like to follow the practices that you need. And
right.
sometimes things come up and you need a good Samaritan, I think they would say.
That's the
So
perfect word.
yeah.
That's the perfect word.
Hmm.
But they'll never refer to it that way because that actually makes them sound like they're, you know, it makes it because then it doesn't come across as if we're spitting in their face. So what's the point of
And that's
saying
what
it
they
then?
want. Yeah, okay.
Exactly. And that's the
Yeah.
whole objective.
Yeah. Got you.
So whenever I hear that term, or I heard the term Rothschild, because I'm like anyone who's fixated on the Rothschilds in the 21st century, I'm like, I don't know. There's
I've
so many
never
wealthy
like
people out there. Whenever I hear someone talking about the Rothschilds, I'm like, okay, it's
yeah,
always
the
it's
Rothschilds thing, like I
there's a lot of evil Jews out there,
yeah.
but
You said it, not me.
uh, uh, and then and there's a and there's a lot. I'm saying is there's a lot of rich folk out there, and people who
Uh-huh.
assume that the Rothschilds are like there's some masterminds who are controlling the whole. That's usually where the conversation ends up going when you're talking Rothschild.
Oh, for sure.
So anyway, so but this Candace has when it comes to the TPUSA context, so she's really sort of flown a little bit from like sometimes blaming Israel sometimes blaming others, like sometimes blaming Bibi because you can blame everything on Bibi. You
Of
can,
course.
obviously, or Israel or Mossad. Everything is always them because they're the most brilliant and nefarious agency that ever existed in human existence, and their tentacles
Yeah.
are everywhere. But she sees through them. They're very sly, but she sees through them because
Her and Nick Fuentes.
yeah, these are the two. Yeah. So there's been a lot of statements that Candace Owens has been making, but now of late she's been turning her attention more towards TPUSA.
Okay.
And specifically saying that there were all sorts of changes that were happening there, which were basically this is that it's folks inside TPUSA who are to blame for Charlie's death. This is where she's at.
All right. I mean, I heard that rumor sort of getting stirred up not long after, they were blaming it on the wife. Like, oh, how could she go 2 weeks later and do a podcast, huh? And she obviously had something to do with it, right?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking, uh, she's putting on a brave face, quite obviously. The company cannot falter after what happened to Charlie. And she's,
And
soldiering on.
this is a fair. I'm glad that this question came out. Joe, do you watch all her streams? No, definitely not. In fact, I almost never watch her streams because I saw enough, and I was just like, okay, I'm done here. And I'll tell you right now, I have no idea what the hell happened with Charlie Kirk. I don't know if his shooter is the guy. I don't know if it was really the guy there on the roof or some other thing. I have no idea. I
Yeah.
don't know. And I'm the first to admit that, a lot of these conspiracy theories pan out as being, yeah, that's obviously what happened. So in that sense, it's, and if the FBI acts shady or discreet or lacking transparency, it's only going to foster the notion that, hey, why are you being so sketchy here? And when this is something that should be a lot of transparency. But I find that with the part of what's frustrating for me with Candace Owens, and part of what makes her actually a very challenging defendant to sue, is that she'll bring up like a little nugget here, and she'll be like, someone told me, I have an anonymous tip that tells me, and I have it in writing. That's so and so told that Charlie told so and so, I'm done with Israel, or Charlie, or here's a thing of that. And I have questions like, does this mean that, what, but the nature of the way she'll frame it is that her questions lead to, because the question is there, even though the question might have 1,000 different answers, but in the way of framing it of like, I have questions, and she'll piece together nugget, and the nugget number, she'll have like a treasure trove of like, from a treasure trove of like 300 pieces of information. She'll pick number 6, number 48, number
Uh-huh.
100, 111,
Seems
and she'll be
logical.
like, and she'll take and number 113 and 175, and she'll piece these together, and she'll be like, and these will all have like some common theme that will run between them, ignoring number 98, number 41, no, ignoring
Yeah.
all the other stuff, which like, leads in completely, which is potentially exonerating. And she'll be like,
Uh-huh.
she's like, I have questions, and here's other reasons to have questions. And she'll go on to like, okay, let me pull up number 87 now. The 5 pieces that she selects, and ignores like the other things that are contradictory to it, because she's like, I have questions. So when she
Yeah.
does it like that, it feels as if she has an agenda as to where she obviously clearly has an agenda as to where she wants to end up.
Mhm.
So she'll sort of parse out those little pieces, and then she doesn't even make the accusation. She'll let the viewer come to their own conclusion based on the 5 questions she asks, based on those particularized tidbits.
Yeah.
And there's only one, you know, if you're looking at that as if that's the entire array of information we have, then yeah, okay, I understand why you come there. But she basically will ignore 180 other pieces of information, which lead to, you know, other conclusions.
So you're saying
So
she cherry picks the facts in order to get
she'll
her point
cherry
across.
pick and then ask it, frame it as I have questions rather than
Well,
making it
that's
rather than
also an
making it.
anti-Semitic trope, Joe. You know that, right? What? I'm just questioning things. I'm just noticing and I'm just
I've never,
questioning.
I didn't know. I don't know that to be a trope. I've never heard that before.
Oh yeah, I'm just noticing and I'm just asking questions. It's definitely one that I've seen before.
And there's nothing wrong with asking questions. It's like there's some questions which are good faith questions, and then there's some questions which is like, okay, you're not asking questions. You're just actually, this is like a rhetorical question that you're trying to frame it as a question, because this way
Yeah.
you can say, I didn't reach the conclusion. Well, if you're reaching that conclusion, well, then
I
maybe
didn't
there's
say
smoke
it.
there. No,
Maybe, yeah. Wink,
why are
wink,
you
nudge,
thinking that?
nudge.
Why are you thinking that? Why are you thinking that?
Huh? I didn't say that. Why are you saying that, huh?
Yeah, obviously, if
That's
you're
not what I
thinking it,
said.
there must be some truth there.
Maybe you're
There
right.
must
Oh, maybe
be.
you've changed my mind, huh?
Yeah, and you know,
Yeah.
now that you mention
Now
it,
that you mention it,
I mean, come on. And I'm just like, it's like,
don't ever
it's
do your hands like that. Calm down. Don't do that.
oh,
I was waiting for you to go oy vey for some reason. I'm sorry. It just was.
that's good. That's good.
No, but
I
yeah,
gotta hope.
that's definitely a trope. And if she's cherry picking to do that, well, then you have a problem because now you're leaving evidence off the table in order to allow somebody. What was it, Fox News that used to say, "We report, you decide."
Right,
You're leaving the reporting on the floor to lead somebody to a false premise.
right,
So
right. Um, and also sometimes the sourcing will just be like someone told me, and it literally can be it could be someone whose X handle
source
is
because I said so.
yeah, right.
Trust me, bro. The trust me,
Yeah,
bro, in
no, it's like
2025 is
it's like
insane.
so she's like, I have two anonymous sources which tell me, and like these anonymous sources could literally be someone, you know, it'll be like no, hey, it'll be like, you know, Javi loves tequila 6183 on Twitter
Hobby
sent
loves
me this.
tequila. Oh, I
Yeah.
don't think this guy has any sort
No,
of
so it's
bias.
like it's I just made up a name. I literally just made up a name. I was trying, but I wanted to be like the most random, you know. But Hobby Loves
Yeah.
Tequila is 60413, and it's like I have sources. It's in writing. Someone told me that this is what he said, and it's just like, you know, you don't want to tell us anything about your source.
No, of
So
course not. Well, that would reveal the source to
right,
be just some random Twitter guy. So
yeah, and I have in 2025 when people have anonymous sources, I have real qualms with that, no matter what side of the aisle they're on.
I agree, but also coming from a guy who does report on like dumb comic book things and different entertainment stuff, I have people all the time bring me messages or whatever. And it's hard to parse that out in the right way without burning your source. You know what I mean? Because
Hmm.
you don't want to do that. But in 2025, everybody has a voice. Everybody. You can go on Twitter and anybody can pick up your tweet and run with it. So it's kind of a double-edged sword there. But Candace,
Yeah.
who are your sources? Come on now.
Anyway, Brian Ogden came in with two of these, trying to push us along, as did Nannernose coming in
Oh,
there with
Nanner knows.
20. God bless you guys, trying to get us to that hump, trying to wrangle 3 hours out of us. T-shirt she wore was White Lives Matter.
That was it. Yeah. Yeah. That was the turn.
Yeah.
People should have just left it alone. They should have left it alone, and they excoriated her for doing that. She wouldn't be as
Um,
crazy.
and I'll tell you this. I mean, I think what the ADL does I hate what they do. I think they're the worst form of propaganda. Like they're just like they make me hate Jews. So
I'm
and I'm
flipping
like,
that.
and they do. They make me. I'm like, I've told other Jews the same thing. I'm like, they make me hate Jews, and some of my best friends are Jews. So
No, really?
Phil Kong says this is a great Tim Pool. There's a great Tim Pool episode where we can watch Candace realize in real time that she was screwed over by a crappy contract.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that.
Yeah, yeah, and she was. but that is what the contract said, and
she signed it. She could have went to a Jewish lawyer and had them read it over. Everybody has access to Jews, people. They're not just for the chosen ones. All right, they'll take everybody's money. I promise you. I wasn't even meaning that.
Because they're lawyers.
Exactly. That's exactly what I was meaning.
Because they're lawyers. You start being absolutely convinced of conspiracies, you'll start to make the frame for everything. Conspiracies can be true, but evidence show it so. Yep.
Yeah, you can go down that conspiracy rabbit hole pretty quickly and then just stay there. Everything looks to be shady or nefarious.
So I can't claim to know everything about the different claims she's made about TPUSA and Charlie's shooting. I know at one point she was saying stuff about Israel. I actually watched Tim Pool breaking down how he thought, I'm going back that he thought she was asking interesting questions.
Yeah.
And that on this one, maybe we should not be dismissing her. That, other stuff that she said sounds sort of loony, but on this one, that she might have she's raising some interesting questions that should be addressed.
Yeah.
But now I don't think she was saying stuff like this.
Okay. Ooh, terrible.
There's one more thing that came in regarding Andrew Colvett, very close family friend of
Andrew Colvett, right? Works for TPUSA. Is a close family friend.
Yeah.
Andrew Colvett had messaged me early on, and I again was not tracking any of this at the time, but they had said that they felt that Andrew Colvett was acting weird, and I'm sure that's not a big deal. I think we were all acting weird.
Who's they? They were saying, okay,
was assassinated, but moreover, they had mentioned that specifically Andrew had told them that when Charlie said no to Bibi, he lost out on millions. Now I'm going to say allegedly because this is a tip, but I have that tip in writing. I'm not lying to you. And I thought to myself, that is so weird. How could the spokesperson at Turning Point USA be how could they be gaining millions from that? What is the structure here of these contracts that even people that are in PR, people that are like running PR departments are getting tips on the basis of donations? I don't know how this is working, but we need to figure out how this is working. I think it's really important that we learn the truth about what happened. Who's Pierre? Is it Pierre Dupont? And has Turning Point been paid? Obviously, it wouldn't be on this year's taxes. You're not going to find those on this year's taxes, but
why
it would be next year's. But we can ask now. And I'm asking now.
Wait, every time I come on to this dadgum show, every time you play something and I go, I'm a relatively decently smart guy. I don't think I'm majorly intelligent by any means. I'm at least not retarded. And then you play something and I go, am I retarded? Or
I don't know what she's saying either.
First of all, the thing that stuck out to me is, why wouldn't it be on this year's taxes? Charlie Kirk clearly would have been clearly paid off in 2025, right?
No, I don't know what the hell she's
so
talking
come February, that would have to be on there, or if they do an extension, whatever. That's the first thing. So okay, the other thing is, wait, what?
So is she trying to say that Andrew Colvett had him knocked off?
Yes, that's what it sounded like to me, and so she's assuming, from what I could tell from that clip, assuming that there will be some large lump sum payment, right, for some random promotion or something from Pierre.
Right.
But we won't know that until next year, because that would clearly. Never mind. My brain is melted.
Your brain should be melted, because I have no idea what she's trying to say either. I have no idea. So, yeah, there's been, and a lot of people were talking about this, about the fact that she said this, and Andrew Colvett actually responded to this, saying, LOL, this is laughably untrue, because they said Candace Owens just said a close family friend of Andrew Colvett allegedly reached out to her and said Andrew told them that he lost out millions when Charlie Kirk rejected the deal with Benjamin Netanyahu earlier this year. So this deal with Benjamin Netanyahu is and is basically taken as gospel right now by the woke right, and it may have happened. I don't know, but I don't know how anyone. I don't know what the source is to verify that actually ever was an offer from Israel. But that's in her. I know in her circles, it's taken as like that. Obviously happened. That definitely happened. That definitely happened.
Yeah.
And Andrew Colvett responds, "LOL, this is laughably untrue. There was never any BB bucks. Neither Israel nor Netanyahu ever offered, and Charlie wouldn't have accepted if they did. Literally have a board rule against accepting foreign money, and I certainly wouldn't have made any money off of it." So, but she has a source in writing. In writing.
Yeah. Show it.
It's like this is what I was saying. She's always got like a source, and it's just kind of here's another. This is from the same. This is another clip from the same show. I'm just like,
there is such a thing as a good Fed, believe it or not. There are good guys. There are good guys everywhere. Lightness is always fighting darkness. And I received an interesting tip from a Fed that I'm going to share with you now that might be relevant. But Turning Point USA put in a personal request to try to get the Egyptian plane story killed, and I find that to be very interesting. What is it about?
Do you?
Planes that Turning Point
this
USA?
This is another thing. She doesn't, instead of saying I have questions all the time, she'll be like, I find that to be interesting.
Okay, the other way that she's selling this, if you look at the way she is doing her face, right? The concerned look, the like, I'm on the edge of tears because of this, because I care just so much. Look at how sad my face is getting.
Yeah. And this, she's doing it for Charlie. She's doing it for Charlie.
Exactly.
Because she's much more concerned about Charlie than Erica or anyone else. She's the one who's doing this for Charlie.
Yeah.
Not at all to fluff up her own numbers or anything like that. With like, no.
Yeah.
And someone is asking me. Some folks are thinking like this: why am I wasting my time on her? Well, there's a reason I'm wasting my time on her. It's because she is harming financially Turning Point USA. She is building an alliance against Turning Point USA and basically getting people to try. She's urging them to try and have them withdraw their funding. So, and look, I don't even know that she's wrong. I just know that in general, she is wrong. And I'll play the rest of this clip, but you'll see that this is like, it's become an attack on the entity itself right now, which may or may not be deserved. I don't know. But I'm just saying, it's to just pretend that this is something that we should all just ignore, I think is missing the fact that TPUSA in its current, both, certainly what Charlie built here and the way it exploded in the wake of his murder is potentially beneficial in significant ways to MAGA, as far as having a potential to influence the youth, which is where it's needed most. And she's certainly harming their ability to raise funds, and she's harming their reputation. And I think that this may lead them into having no choice but to sue her, because when she says stuff like this, if you don't sue her, you're sort of, this is TPUSA is sort of in a damned if you do, damned if you don't, because it's they're public entity.
Yeah.
These figures who she's talking about, Andrew Colvett, Erica Kirk, they're all public figures. So you have to establish, they have to establish the malice, and that, which means that she's willfully being wrong. She's artful in the way she frames it, where she's like, I have concerns, I have questions. Where she doesn't say he did it. She won't do that, but she'll cherry pick those things and say he did it. So it makes it a very tough case for a plaintiff to win, because she's sufficiently legally savvy to not go out there and make and say
a
something.
Statement of fact.
Say a statement of fact.
Yeah.
Precisely. So it makes it very difficult to, but at the same time, that doesn't mean she's not causing them great harm by throwing around allegations that could largely be baseless. and that she's actually purposefully doing it.
Yeah.
So
For the clicks, for the grip. So if TPUSA sues her, well, now they're taking down a conservative pundit that is an ally, and people are going to finger wag and shame them for that. And if they don't, well, then she can cause harm to what Charlie had built. So they're damned if they do, damned if they don't. Is that what you're getting at?
yeah, now that doesn't. It's a difficult case to win. So
Okay,
and if you don't sue them, then it looks like, oh, we have stuff to hide.
got you. Yeah, I see
Because
where you're
folks are
coming
like,
from.
oh, you don't want to go through discovery. You're afraid what's going to come in discovery. That's the only reason
Yeah.
why. She must be. So it gives credence to what the claims that she's making.
Yeah, she can then go, well, why don't they sue me then?
Right.
Why
And
don't
if
they?
you do sue them, because we have such robust free speech protections. She's sufficiently artful in the way she frames her stuff in her cutesy type of like, well, that's interesting to me. That should be interesting to you. So, here's another little nugget that should be interesting to you. And it's basically it's a sufficient dance to make it difficult to get her on defamation. But there is a potential if you are lawyers for TPUSA, and I'm sure they have very well established and experienced and intelligent attorneys. There are other legal causes of action that they theoretically could bring against her, not sounding in defamation.
Yeah.
Which
Okay.
thereby you wouldn't necessarily have to overcome the actual malice standard. And I'll get to those shortly when we after I cover a few more clips that I wanted to share with you. A few more links.
I want them to be discussed. I don't know. But I am going to find out. I think we kind of have found out in a weird, really effed up way, actually. It makes my stomach turn.
Nothing's making your
I'm
stomach
gonna miss
turn.
Charlie. I really am going to miss Charlie. And I think when Charlie was assassinated, there was something about it. I knew that this story was going to be dark. Instantly, I knew that Charlie was betrayed.
He was betrayed. Like that means someone in his circle harmed him. These are very, very serious things to say. These are very serious things to say, that he was betrayed. And you remember when like the videos first came out, people were like, "Hey, who's that guy standing there? And why is he doing a thing with his fingers?" Like everyone's looking for something to try and show how someone in his
camp.
Someone in his camp.
Yeah.
And here's someone who basically worked for TPUSA and is joining in with Candace.
Oh no. Okay.
Not insane.
Terrible.
I want to be clear.
Freeze frame.
I want to be clear. It's not my freeze frame. She started with this. She's not a podcaster. She's like someone who worked for TPUSA. She's not claiming that they were involved in his murder. I want to be clear here.
Yeah.
But she's helping sap money. I'll show you.
I'm just gonna say what I have to say, and if it lands in the right hands, whatever. My name is Amanda. I've tried to record this like 7 times, and it's just not working. So I'm just gonna say what I have to say, and if it lands in the right hands, whatever. My name is Amanda. I worked for Turning Point USA and Charlie Kirk for 4 years. One of those years, I was a donor relations officer in Phoenix, Arizona. And that means is I worked with all the donors within a certain region for all of Turning Point's assets. So Turning Point Action, Turning Point Academy, Turning Point USA, Faith, Blexit, podcasting, everything. When I saw Candace Owens' comment this morning, granted, I am not a Candace Owens fan personally, and that comment, I felt like I had to say something. What I did for Turning Point USA within that department was some of the most, I can't even begin to describe it, because the people that I felt like I was working for were not. They were horrible. I mean, like, it was just some of the worst times ever. And I was working for such an amazing, brilliant idea of an organization, and to see it for what it really was behind the scenes and what makes it Turning Point, which is money. I mean, I'm sorry, but it is.
Okay.
That's how it works in the nonprofit world.
Somebody said exactly what I was
took me
thinking in
so
the
much.
chat. Spit it out.
And not to tell donors to take their money elsewhere.
So
That's the first time I've said that out loud.
that she was going to tell potential donors they should probably take their money elsewhere because of what she saw.
And I'm so proud of myself for being able to come out of that organization and be who I am today. And I hope that all of my amazing, brilliant friends that I know that are still there are able to find their moment to move on. Gosh, the people that are behind it all are just like the worst of the worst. I don't take things personally. This is not a personal vendetta. I just know there are serious backings to whatever her claim is. I've seen it. I know the disgust and the terrible things that go on. So anyway, just leaving this here for people to find and
Sure you are, hon.
But all in all, stop watching the news. Stop paying attention to people who just don't matter in your life. Focus on your family, your friends, your loved ones. Get out of the political world. It's not real. None of it is real.
None of it is real. See? Huh?
Love the Lord. Amen. Bye.
I heard that dog whistle, right? Being called a Nazi on Twitter.
Okay, but all kidding aside, you can see how like she's created genesis for the every person who is disaffected with Turning Point USA to come out there, and basically she just piled on. She didn't give us any other than implying that I have no idea which people were horrible people that in her opinion. Maybe they were, maybe they weren't. But like,
yeah.
But she basically says this is reasons to give credibility to Candace's claims.
She gave a full trust me, bro. Is all she did. She's like, hey, look, I may have seen things. I'm not going to tell you what I've seen or how I've seen it or anything. Trust me, bro. Don't give them money anymore is basically what I got if you boil it down to brass tacks.
Yeah. Oh, there was this thing from her also. I received information last night that put the final pieces together for me. I now can say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by leadership of Turning Point USA and some of the very people who eulogized him on stage. Yes, I'll be naming names and providing evidence. This is what she was saying a couple days ago, and I think that's Andrew Colvett is one of the names. Providing evidence for my claims, and I'm making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated to this godforsaken organization to request a refund. You were lied to, and leadership knew. This is a direct attack on their assets.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, that's 100%. Yeah, there's no way around that.
Yeah, so she's basically saying go get a refund from them because they're evil. So that's not simply that's not simply defamation. This is now giving rise to all other sorts of potential causes of action.
Okay. Can you walk that out a little bit for
because
an Alabama layman?
Yeah. See, defamation is you say something that's derogatory about me or about about the plaintiff, and and that causes them pecuniary loss, and it has to be willfully, it has to be a false statement, and it has to be a false statement that is if it's actual malice, means you have to either know that it's false at the time you're saying it or show a reckless disregard for the truth. And I was walking you through how that makes for a much tougher claim, because how do you show that she's got a reckless disregard for the truth, or even that it's a statement when she's expressing, one opinion after another and saying, I don't know. This is interesting. I don't know. This is interesting. Now she's directly saying he was betrayed and they're evil and you need to take people away from them. Does that strengthen a claim for defamation? Well, evil sounds like something saying he was betrayed. So what that means, I'm not sure. But a defamation claim is really, really hard. But there are other causes of action, because you have to realize she's in competition with them, right?
100%. And now's the time to strike and pull that crowd away.
Yeah, she's in competition with them, and this could create an unfair competition claim. Like you're sitting there making crap up about us, and there's potential claims for casting in a false light, and that he's trying, that she's basically trying to strip them of assets for her own personal benefit and engaging in competition in an unfair way, which could be that you don't have to show that it's that she's, you don't necessarily have to show that it's a statement. Now, because she's using words as her weapon, it's a little bit free speech is always going to play a role is always going to come up as a potential defense that she's allowed to engage in free speech. But free speech doesn't entitle you to lie about your adversaries.
Okay.
Or it doesn't entitle you to just like make stuff up. And it's likely a lower standard than the actual malice has been recognized to be. Because you could say, well, both act of defamation and unfair competition, you're saying there's got to be some sort of misstatement there. It's actually something that's a much lower standard. So
let me ask you something though. What if she did have a source and she revealed that source? Then would she then be liable for that source, or would that source then be liable for the defamation?
Well, I don't know that she's going to go over her sources so fast.
But if she did, right? She actually brought an email chain or a DM thread or something forward.
So if I was TPUSA's counsel, I would say, why does she have to make a personal plea to every well-meaning person to request a refund? Like, you can put your information out there. You can put that information out there. That's reporting. Yes. This is reporting. This is a financial attack right here. This
got you.
And saying that they were lied to and leadership knew it. It's like this is a very, very serious effort to strip them of funds, and you can say that's engaging in unfair competition.
Yeah. And so that last paragraph is the danger zone.
That's where she's really crossing the line.
Got you. Okay.
She's really crossing a line. I mean, she's already dancing up to the line, because the natural outgrowth of what she's saying is that she's going to be harming them financially, and that's her objective. But this is where she's like, this is not even like you're trying to share truth. This is you're directly trying to influence people to engage in a certain type of conduct with respect to your competitor based on these allegations that may be difficult to attack.
Gotcha.
In fact, here's Tim Pool saying, or Timcast News, which is a pseudonym. The idea that you would try to destroy them, TPUSA, and get everybody to pull their donations using the insinuation that they murdered Charlie Kirk is evil. Regardless of anyone's opinion of TPUSA, Candace Owens' attempt to end the organization by suggesting it's responsible for Charlie Kirk's murder is vile, and I agree with him wholly.
Right-winger turns on Turning Point leadership after murder.
Right-winger turns?
I would just describe it as
that wasn't bad.
Officially gone for, I don't know, what would you describe this as? The kill shot on Turning Point USA. She is not just implying that they were involved in the murder of Charlie Kirk, but that everybody should get a refund, and she's trying to get them to pull their donations. She tweets, I received information last night that put the final pieces together for me. I now can say with full confidence that I believe Charlie Kirk was betrayed by the leadership of Turning Point USA and some of the very people who eulogized him on stage. Yes, I will be naming names and providing evidence for my claims. And I'm making a personal plea to every well-meaning person who donated to this godforsaken organization to request a refund. You were lied to, and leadership knew. Oh boy, Candace is doing everything she can to destroy Turning Point USA. And then we have we have this video. Evan Kilgore posted it. Candace Owens just said a close family friend of Andrew Colvett allegedly reached out to her and said that Andrew told them he lost out of millions when Charlie rejected the deal with Benjamin Netanyahu earlier this year. Let me play the clip for you from her show. It's a minute long.
We just can't all be hanging out in Delaware. And there's one more thing that came in regarding Andrew Colvett. Very close family friend of Andrew Colvett had messaged me early on. And I, again, was not tracking any of this at the time, but they had said that they felt that Andrew Colvett was acting weird. And I'm sure that's not a big deal. I think we were all acting weird. Charlie Kirk was assassinated. But moreover, they had mentioned that specifically Andrew had told them that when Charlie said no to Bibi, he lost out on millions. Now I'm going to say allegedly because this is a tip, but I have that tip in writing. I'm not lying to you. And I thought to myself, that is so weird. How could the spokesperson at Turning Point USA be on the, how could they
See, the way she frames it like that, it's like, this is not opinion. This definitely happened.
be gaining millions from that? What is the structure here of these contracts that even people that are in PR, people that are like running PR departments are getting tips on the basis of donations? I don't know how this is working, but we need to figure out how this is working. I think it's really important that we learn the truth about what happened. Who's Pierre? Is it Pierre Dupont? And has Turning Point been paid? Obviously, it wouldn't be on this year's taxes. You're not going to find those on this year's taxes, but they would be on next year's. But we can ask now.
You know, I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and we were talking about how the average reading level in the United States is around like 7th grade. And I think she first had the 8th grade. And I was like, you know, this is funny because this just came up on Tim Castello the other night. I think it's actually around 7th grade. And then I was like, I double checked because we pulled up the data. And it actually ranges from between 5th to 8th grade. So it's like 6th, 7th grade reading level. And if I don't think Candace is stupid. I think she's actually super intelligent. I think she's a genius. And what I mean by that is not that she's a good person, but I believe that she is extremely aware. She is quick to learn and understand what she is doing. Yep. That's why I think what she's doing is amoral, is wrong. It's immoral. Because the way she just phrased all of that to imply that there was some illicit deal with Andrew Colvett in Israel, it's exactly what she's been doing. And I'm going to say this, much to the, I suppose it'll sound elitist and insulting, but the people of low reading comprehension who can't parse through the manipulations, they believe this. Mm-hmm. I was at the poker room over the weekend, and there were these young guys who were like, did you hear that Candace is in hiding now because Israel and like they're trying to kill her over this Charlie stuff? And I said, you mean how she posted her show was off the air for the week because it was Thanksgiving? And they were like, she didn't say that. I'm like, yeah, she didn't say anything. It was vague. That's what she does, vagaries, so that you connect the dots and you can believe whatever it is you want to believe without her actually having said anything. So let me put it like this. If Andrew Colvett is working at a nonprofit, or literally anybody works at a nonprofit, often you get commissions on, it's called development. If you bring in a large donor, you will get a commission. That is completely normal at nonprofits. You may not like it. People may say, I think it's wrong that you get a commission on donations, but nonprofits are the same as any other business. Mm-hmm. So executive directors at nonprofits at big ones are going to make $1 million salaries. And I honestly think it's stupid that people get mad about this, because if you want CEO level talent, you have to pay CEO level wages.
Yeah. And this is something that I think most large nonprofits do, because they want to make sure that they're getting the money and it's not going to a different large nonprofit. So they want people who are rainmakers. Rainmakers are very valuable. So this is something that shouldn't be surprising anyone who really sits down and thinks about it, that you have to do this. By the way, speaking of making rain, Lizzie, God bless you. Hit me. What a pity.
Thank you so much.
Come on, people. Let's meet that goal. Let's do it. Let's do it. I think we're going to make it. I have confidence. We're going to get there. So, that is what he's saying here is spot on, 100% accurate. That's just the nature of the way business operates.
Usually it's not going to be identical. You know, I think Charlie was getting, I think they say it was around $1 million between four different nonprofits, and he was worth substantially more than that. His show alone was probably bringing way more anyway. But if Colvette or literally anybody was organizing some kind of deal, be it with Netanyahu or anyone else, now you can argue that in of itself is wrong. But getting commission on a donation is actually fairly routine for big organizations, especially when someone is working with, they call it development. So the insinuation now is that Turning Point USA killed Charlie, but the sledgehammer, of course, is when she says everybody should request a refund from this organization. Now, obviously, y'all know that, you know, we have the minorest of drama issues with Turning Point. We're not going to be there at AmFest, but it is what it is. I ain't crying about it. I talk to these guys relatively often, so whatever.
Crying. You're crying.
But the idea that you would try to destroy them and get everybody to pull their donations using the insinuation they murdered Charlie Kirk is evil. It's evil.
Yeah.
I agree with him. The problem with this whole premise, though, is Charlie Kirk was the GOAT, right? He was the face of all of this. So where you may get an influx of donations in the beginning, maybe the first year, because of, you know, sorry for the loss. You get what I mean? Like pity donations is the only way I know how to explain it properly. Right. Those eventually, after you hit that crest, pretty quickly are going to come back down. It's like my show with Super Chats, for example. We got a major influx that first couple days because of people proud of us for getting Super Chats. But
Right.
eventually that crest and you start plateauing out. So that would just be the whole premise
so
is
stupid.
insane.
It'd be so stupid. It'd be really stupid. Yeah. It's true. So
it baffles me how people think.
And also, from what I understand, they claim as far as that offer was like a couple of weeks before. Like, how fast would you be able to put something like this together?
Ooh,
to me,
to get him like that, and
to get Tyler Robinson and someone else, and like they to organize all this
without
stuff
a Manchurian
so
candidate or whatever.
That's what I'm saying. Like, what do you think? What do you think? Like the TPUSA people have a stockpile of crazy folks
ready
at the ready that they can call on one to, you know, but let's take care of this guy. I think you have to be an idiot to think that that's actually something that they readily have their hands on.
But if they were upset about him not taking the Israel deal, they could just tap Mossad.
Okay,
right?
I'll make this point to you. Think to yourself this. I guess they could. Okay, yeah, it's always Mossad. It's always Mossad.
Right. Like
right. They're the perfect answer to everything.
They really are the boogeyman, you know. But that's what you will get said, right? That's what somebody will say to you, Joe.
Now the Misfit Patriot is saying it's true. That's a good point. Fair enough. I didn't think of that. No, you're right. That's what they would say. Mr. Patriot said, do you know how effing quickly TPUSA could effing demolish Candace? They could have been clapping back at this the whole time. Erica could have made a single post and made her look like a clown. Want to know my theory on why they haven't? They're good people. The evangelicals are nice to a fault, but everyone has a breaking point. This psycho cult leader, Candace, has been poking for months now, and they've just been taking the high road. Not sure about you, but I think they're about to show everyone the difference between silence and weakness. So, what do you think? Do you think that that's a factor here?
No.
So you don't think that? You think that's not it? Why do you disagree?
I don't know. It's, you know me, I go a lot with my gut feeling. I don't think so.
So it's on a gut level. You're like that doesn't feel right to you.
Yes.
All right. I see Robert Gavea rated me. God bless you, Robert. Thank you. Over on In the Ghetto. If you're new here, I urge you to please make sure you hit the like and subscribe. I'd be most obliged to you. Certainly, at least if you like what you're hearing, if you like the content, and definitely. You're never going to find me otherwise again. Ozelian says it really started once she got married to her husband, who happened to be best friends with Andrew Tate. Burger Q23 says, not on locals anymore, but I know I had 2 babies in the time listening to you. Wow.
Wow.
Wow. I must be talking very slowly.
Sometimes you may drone a little bit,
I guess.
just you could
guess.
use a little Ricada medicine to pep it up a bit every
That
once in a
was-
while.
That was a good dad joke. That was a good dad joke. Uzelian says, what she does is the same thing Puppy Zapper would do. Say, God, I want X to I want X to die in a video game. So it's like, I don't know who Puppy Zapper is, but apparently, they would call for someone's death and then finish off at the end with in a video game to like make it like they didn't really mean like actually, but you all know what the person's really saying.
Yeah.
So I saw this clip here from these two gentlemen. I don't know who they are, frankly. Nathan Livingstone, Milk Bar TV. Have you ever heard of Milk Bar TV?
Never heard of Milk Bar. I've heard of Nathan Livingston, but not Milk Bar TV.
You heard of Nathan Livingston?
Yeah.
He's a filmmaker, video editor.
Yeah, I've heard of him. I have no clue who Milk Bar is. Let me look him up right quick.
Well, I'll share with you this clip of him and a friend talking. Candace Owens is attempting to strip away Charlie Kirk's legacy and death, his life's work, TPUSA, the coalition he built, even casting doubt on his family, and this from a supposed friend. It doesn't get much more evil than that.
It really is hard to highlight just how evil what Candace Owens is doing. I even just to me, that this thing of her saying like, everything in Charlie Kirk's life was fake.
Nothing in Charlie's life was real. It's just something that keeps nothing in his life was real.
Was fake.
That he was in the Truman Show.
I am looking around and wondering whether Charlie's entire life was the Truman Show.
Which again, this thing of like, Candace Owens has never accused Erica Kirk of being involved, but she'll say that his life was the Truman Show. Which, if you've seen the Truman Show, Truman's wife
was in on it.
Yeah, one of the like primary people who's
facts.
And so the idea that Candace Owens is now spinning this narrative that Charlie Kirk was betrayed by his own organization, by everyone around him, and that he was a victim and taken out. I can't think of anything more evil really than to take away a man's legacy after he's dead.
Yeah.
And to say that everything he built was fake.
Yeah.
Including even possibly his family. I can't imagine,
Yeah, that's
that is a kind of
disgusting.
evil that I really can't understand.
I get this a lot.
Especially coming from someone who's supposedly a friend. I mean,
Right.
Yeah, horrible.
Yeah. And
when you break it down like that, that's very disgusting and nefarious.
Yeah.
Yeah, his family, his kids are just there for some sort of profit or gain.
And it's like she's basically, and if she succeeds, to the extent she's successful, she's harming his kids.
Yes.
She's harming his family. Like, what is your objective? Like, how is this something that she's doing? Because we owe it to Charlie to get to the truth. That's how she'll frame it. She frames it in the most noble way possible, that we owe it to Charlie to get to the truth by destroying his family and the life of his kids. That's clearly what Charlie wanted. We owe that to Charlie to basically destroy his legacy.
But you were going to ask something earlier, and you changed, like you swerved off of it. What is her objective? It's financial. It's to pull the crowd from TPUSA, come to Candace Owens, and now you're going to get the real truth. You know what I mean? Like you weren't getting it over there, right? Now you're going to get it right here. We're the one that's delivering it to you. Don't worry about them anymore. Charlie's not there, and we're doing this. We are going to harm him and his wife, his legacy, his wife, and his children's future for Charlie.
What does she have to gain? Clicks.
Yes. Ad revenue.
Clicks. Ad revenue, which is
enormous. Membership.
Enormous.
Yeah.
Enormous. Literally millions of dollars is what she has to gain.
I mean, you look at the Crowder Daily Wire contract. For him, that money may not have been enough to do what he wanted to do, but his contract was $10 million over 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah,
To
and
do
that
what? What we're
wasn't
doing
nearly
right
enough.
now.
That was not
Yeah.
nearly enough.
No, he snubbed his
And
nose at it.
he's right. He's probably
Yeah.
right because that's how big the numbers are.
That's
So-
exactly that was my point. So that tells you how much money there is to be made in this market. In this
Right.
market that we're in right now, making what, hundreds, thousands of dollars? There are millions
Yeah.
for giving your opinion on these sort of topics.
Yeah. And that's what I'm
Billions.
saying is I have peers who in this arena who most of you will know, who most of you see their numbers are far more successful, and I wish them only 10 times the blessings they've had
Yes.
for most of them. And I'll tell you that what they're making, they'll be making 7 figures, and it's a joke compared to what Candace Owens is making, and what Candace Owens is
it's a
making,
drop in the bucket.
and what Candace Owens is making is a joke compared to TPUSA. That's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. It's like the money is so she can eat into that and take a bigger piece of that. There's a great deal of money. So there's a real financial interest there.
Yeah, somebody said in the chat, 10 million to cover all employees sin over 3 years. It was peanuts. No, that's my point.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's my exact point. That the money that is to be made and to cover all of what Crowder was doing, he knows that there's more out there and that it would take more to do that. He knows that. And that's why he said, no, I'll just do it on my own.
Right.
I'll just do it by myself. I can make more. So that tells you what Candace's motivation is at the end of the day. If I can siphon off all these people who may be teetering on the edge with
10%,
right
10% of their audience.
Yeah.
If she siphons off 10% of their audience, and she's hoping to siphon off a lot more than that, but if she can siphon off 10% of their audience, yeah.
That's,
in that case,
I think TPUSA is worth somewhere around $24 million. The research that I looked up.
I'm
So
sure a lot more than that. I'm sure a lot more.
So let's say that is though. If she siphons off 10%, that's 2.4 million. Boom. There's not a lot that I wouldn't say in a roundabout way for 2.4 million, as long as I was able to keep my morals around it. You know,
Right.
like there's not very much. And I don't have 2.4 million in front of me potentially to even test that theory. You know what I mean? So
yeah. This is TPUSA responding to her allegations. And they actually took a bold move.
So here's what is going to happen. In the near future, there will be a live stream here in Phoenix where we address in a clear and comprehensive way the claims and accusations, the false accusations that have been made against Charlie's family, friends, and the people here at Turning Point. We plan to walk through everything carefully and thoroughly. If Candace is available, we would sincerely welcome her participation in that live stream at our studio here in Phoenix. At this point, we believe the ball is back in her court. Our motivation for doing this is not out of any obligation to Candace. It is about honoring Charlie. We feel a deep responsibility to protect his legacy, his work, and the truth. I feel that. I owe Charlie everything in my life. I feel it immensely. And that is why we feel compelled to speak clearly and openly now. We'll have more on this in the near future. So
there you go, inviting Candace to come on down.
do you think she will?
I think it was a smart move on their part.
I agree 100%. Yeah, come dispel the rumors. Come bring your facts against our facts, and let's see which one is true.
Yeah. So I think that I think if she doesn't come, I think there. So I was talking about the notion of suing her, and earlier we were talking about how they're almost forced to do it, if only to dispel the notion that they're afraid of discovery and that they have something to hide. So you almost have to do it. And I was saying how it could be a very difficult suit, and talking about different theories and causes of theories of law, causes of action that would be easier than a typical defamation suit, or potentially could be much easier than a defamation suit that she's potentially exposed herself to. I'm not saying they'd win, but they have an easier shot of winning.
They'd have a better case. Yeah.
Yeah. They have an easier shot of winning on potentially those causes of action. Part of the motivation is if she's successfully siphoning people off. if she's successfully getting people to turn and say, hey, we're not going to send you money anymore. If people would start demanding refunds, if that sort of thing happens in any kind of considerable numbers, ways that are noticeable, at a certain point, you have to stop the bleeding. And so one way that they can have a turnaround is if they have this live stream where they address all this, and then they can basically meet out and measure. So how are things going since the live stream? Like, has the public accepted our rejection of her claims, or are we still bleeding? So they might wait. They likely would wait to see, let's see what happens as a result of this. Let's see if she comes down here. Let's see how it plays out. Let's see, let's see how the public reacts. Let's see how many people are demanding refunds. Let's see how badly we've actually been hurt by her. I'm telling you now, there's some level of hurt that they're feeling. I don't know if it's 1%, 10%, or more, but they know the numbers and the finances and the impact. They alone know those numbers. If in fact there was a lawsuit that went all the way to trial, likely we'd all start hearing some of those numbers. But I think that at this point in time, if I was their in-house counsel, I would say to them, let's see what happens. We don't have to file a lawsuit today. Let's set up the stream, start measuring, what percentage of people are calling for a refund, and then start measuring out what happens with respect to our receipts after the show. Do people still siding with her, or is that percentage of people still siding with her or not? And if they are, then maybe you bring a lawsuit. Maybe you get her to
At that point, I
apologize.
think you have to. I
If she
think
doesn't-
they're backed into a corner. If you want to do this for Charlie Kirk's sake, right? If what she's doing is the noble thing, major fucking freaking air quotes, then they're gonna have to do that for his sake,
Yeah, you almost have no choice.
I don't think so, not at this point.
I sent you a 15-minute video on tactics Candace uses on NX and DMs. It's pretty good. I think I covered most of her tactics already. Have you seen the accountants? I don't know if I want to spend 15 more minutes on this. Have you seen the accountants break down the TPUSA audits? Even Charlie was suspicious of the financials. That's why he started TPUSA Doge. I did see that. I actually meant to put that aside here. As you see when I pull this up here, I have all these different all of these are just Charlie Kirk, and I went through most of these already. Went through most of these already. What was this one? I don't know if I did this one.
What's this one?
Oh, this is that girl.
Yeah, we went through that one. That one was.
This is
what it
was.
Still so odd to me. It doesn't have any. There's no substance to it. It's just, trust me, bro. And it's so exhausting in modern day.
Yeah, I don't know how blurry this is for you guys. I mean, I can see it pretty clearly, but it might be blurry for most of you. Should I make this? Maybe I'll make this a little bigger. So this is something Charlie supposedly wrote on September 2nd.
Okay.
Dear Team America, effective immediately, Justin Strife is taking on a new elevated role with Turning Point USA as its chief operating officer. Since joining Turning Point USA in 2020, Justin has led Turning Point's fundraising division and in more recent years has been involved in some organizational operations, filling this COO role in many ways, but now is officially taking on the title and expanded responsibilities. In this COO role, Justin will directly oversee development, events, finance, TPUSA, faith media, marketing productions, asset management, distribution, Turning Point education, Brexit, HR, and legal. Justin will also closely coordinate with Andrew Cipher on the national field program. In this role, I've empowered Justin, among other priorities, to engage in an organizational-wide Doge effort. Justin will be assembling a small team to assist in this effort, which is focused on Turning Point USA, 1, becoming more efficient, 2, becoming more cost-effective, 3, unifying organizational success around company-wide metrics and goals, and 4, reshaping company culture. I expect many positive changes to come from this forthcoming initiative and Justin's expanded role. Please join me in congratulating Justin on his new role with the organization. As always, thank you for everything each of you do for Turning Point USA. Now let's get back to work and save America. Thank you, Charlie Kirk. So he wrote that like 8 days before he, September 2nd. I think he died September 10th, right? So it was 8 days before he was murdered is when he wrote that. And some folks are trying to say that this is indicia that he was being robbed. And I don't understand that claim even, because that's not what he's saying. When you talk about Doge, you say Charlie was suspicious of the financials. To me, that's not necessarily suspicious of the financials. That's trying to cut waste. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't mean when we think of Doge, and what they did. So most of us tend to assume there's fraud, right? You think of like all the particularly, now when we look back at all the purposefully wasted monies and things that went to teach children how to count to 100 in binary, because teach trans kids how to do it in binary, and you're just in Cambodia and you're like, what the hell's happening here? I can't believe there's actually even a program like that. And it was waste that was like being used almost certainly fraudulently and stolen from us. So I think that when I think of Doge, I think in this context here, I assume that he's like, we're wasting money on subscriptions to various news agencies, or we're wasting money in investing in advertising in this particular platform, and to basically go through to make things cost effective. I only say that that's what I assume he means because that's what he actually wrote. The guy literally wrote just that. I mean, he's said that what they're going to be doing is becoming more efficient. So I assume that means working faster and not having boggedowns, becoming more cost effective. We're not going to be wasting our money. Unifying organizational success. So we'll be like, making sure that our teams are better coordinated with each other and reshaping the culture. To me, this is not an I don't read this as him saying there's fraud, we're being robbed. People are stealing from us. But that's my read of it. What's your read?
No, I agree with you. I totally agree with you. I don't see it any other way, honestly. I don't see how you could,
Right.
Normally I would give you a little different opinion or pushback, but I don't see how you could. Yeah.
That's okay. So that's why she is what she is. That's why I actually saw this in the context of someone who was making a claim saying, to me, the claim made no sense. She said they won't sue Candace, and here's why. Charlie Kirk's own memo, days before he was assassinated, referring Doge being started at TPUSA missing money. It's not missing money. It's we're wasting money. That's not the same thing at all. It's not like it's not like one of you is thieving from me. It's we're wasting money. It's almost like, they have these different apps that are like, hey, we'll check to see what you're subscribed to and what we might not have used in 4 years, but you've been paying monthly for. So, I think he could be doing that on a company-wide basis. So I don't know. That's how I read it. Jim tells you, says Candace Owens has always been a deranged leftist. She constantly tries to destroy what she's incapable of building herself. Is she possibly a Somali? That's funny. That is funny. I know it says we have 8 out of 15, but I'm counting this as if we have like 12.
Is that what we're doing?
Yeah. Well,
I got you.
Between
there was that
I
pink
give
one.
Yeah, I'm adding in for Liz's, and there was also one on Rumble. So I'm counting it as 12. So
I agree.
We get 3 more in the next half hour. In that case, we'll push forward because I still have a lot to cover here. But that's my take on the Candace versus Turning Point USA. But just to put a bow on it, I think that I like the idea of them inviting her on and having their side of the story to refute her. And she's almost in a damned if you do, damned if you don't type of situation that if she does, If she doesn't show up, in that case, she seems like, she looks like she's been grifting. And if she does, in that case, you can sort of say, what evidence do you have to this? And this is your evidence. Well, this is what and lay it out there. So it gives them an opportunity to set the record straight without enabling her to twist their words afterwards also, which is one of the things that a lot of people like to do. Is like they'll say something and then they'll, what I really, this way it's not like whatever we say, you'll find a way to twist our words. Now we're saying it to your face. Tell us what your thought is on that. So I think it's a very good idea. Brian Oldenkamp coming in and hitting me with 20. Oh my God. 20 Good Lawgic memberships. God bless you, Brian. You are awesome. Following 20 people brought into the following courtesy of Brian Oldenkamp. When you hear your name, I urge you, please make sure that you express your gratitude for him bringing you into the probably preeminent entity leaning towards greater personal growth for its members. Probably. That's almost certainly. And please bear in mind that I am not at all the leader of the following. I'm just a host. When you hear your name, you should express your gratitude to Brian. That would include Emil C, Bridget D698, Mistress Meg, Nufi Princess, Mega Tasmam, Bob Jones 9068, Cat 1121, Beatrix Kiddo 3867, Barb Loves Alaska 8748, Samamaga. I think that's what it is. Beautiful Messy Ball. Look at that. Beautiful Messy Ball. Gifted a membership courtesy of Brian. Egyptian Princess 2560. Tay Logan 5826. Chris Griffin. Clark Kevin B. Another old school follower. Jenna 7219. IU Zana 9. Kulf 2A. Dumbsum 19 Abel, Julie Mumford. Welcome to the following. I hope that you only have good tidings, all of you. Please bear in mind, not at all a cult.
Are we sure?
Type of cult.
Wait, is that why you brought me in? Because you don't want to take the fall for the cult?
It's not at all. I don't even know why you would think such a thing. Because for two reasons. First and foremost, it's not at all a cult type of cult, and secondly, I'm not the leader of
exactly.
That's
what I'm getting at. Are you trying to recruit me to be
the leader?
This non-cult cult.
No. I'm not in recruitment. I'm just a host. We all have our set roles.
So I'm just an assistant cult leader.
No, because I'm not at all a cult leader.
Oh, all right, man. Okay. Okay.
Yeah. These are accountants that have looked at records, and there are accountants that have looked at records and said money was moved around very suspiciously. I can't explain it correctly. Okay. And I appreciate that if you're not in accounting, it could be difficult to sort of spell it out, and especially in a limited number of characters of a super chat. So that's possible. That's possible. I'm simply saying I don't see it there in that memo. There could be that it's not even a sign that he knew about something. You know what I'm saying? I don't see that memo saying that. But to be fair, beautiful Messy Balls, she didn't reference the memo. She was talking about an accountant's breakdown. So that's really me. I was reading into what she was saying as a reference to that memo, but she actually did not reference that memo.
Somebody said you cannot not be an assistant leader to the cult. Oh, man.
I don't even know what that means. Hands One Pack says, when a company grows rapidly, waste and overlapping efforts can be costly. A well-run company will strive to optimize its operations. Yeah, that's what I was saying. RPP says, all kinds of money flying around this BS. Howard Candace has made the shift to permanent irrelevancy. Just relax and watch it happen. Canned face on the way down and will be sued into bankruptcy. Hands One Pack says, I heard Candace was Ben Shapiro's Shabbos guy, and it broke. It has me asking questions. I have questions. We have questions. Hansel says, "Is Candace Owens actually Jewish? I heard this, and now just asking questions. I have questions. Like maybe you hung out with Jews, so like maybe are you actually really a closet Jew? And I don't know, but this is something that I find very interesting. I find this very interesting." See the Candace Owens thing, the Candace Owens dance. Sin, you're Tom Cruise. You're the Tom Cruise of the. What is? Oh,
I look. You know what? I'm going to take it. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much.
if someone's comparing to Tom Cruise, you take it.
Yeah, you just take it all day. You say
just
thank
like,
you, and you.
Okay.
get back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I'm good with that. All right, so
These are videos.
This is. I was thinking about doing this. I'm gonna put this one aside in case.
Okay.
Maybe, in case we hit our extra hour, which I'm sort of feeling we probably should. I'm definitely gonna put this. I'm gonna put this one aside. I didn't even list this one in the description, but it was. I saw TYT. This is part of like what I was thinking about covering in that added hour. TYT was talking about was doing a breakdown where they were actually Anna Kasparian was very flattering of Tucker's questions that he has about how the FBI has handled the Thomas Crooks case and sharing information. Thomas Crooks being the Butler shooter, the Butler attempted assassin. So in case the names start to bleed together, he's the one who attempted to kill Trump on July 13th.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So he did a breakdown, and Anna Kasparian was actually saying, Tucker's asking some really fair questions here as to how the FBI handled this. And I thought it was a really interesting video, which I wanted to sort of break down with you guys as to how the FBI, everything about this situation with Thomas Crooks is weird, like very weird. There's a lot of weird things. That he had for example, he had a much bigger social media presence. We were told he had no social media presence. And that his story is far better known through his social media presence. Things he said online, you can sort of see a dramatic shift in this guy that happened over a relatively brief span. So where he seems to go from being a diehard Trump supporter to despising Trump in a span of months. And such a diehard, like referring to Trump as like, the definition of a patriot, and also coming across as being borderline racist, like what the left would certainly call racist, but certainly saying some questionable things and like very aggressive, was saying that, these people should be deleted, and then being anti-Trump and saying that Trump should be deleted.
Okay.
So
all right.
no one really knows how that happened, that he turned like that. But I think I thought it was a really interesting analysis, and I like the way she broke in what he did there. So I was thinking about sharing that with you guys and breaking down and getting your thoughts on it. But that's all for the bonus time. That's all for bonus time. Right now, I'm looking at two other stories that I said I wanted to cover with you guys. So one of them is Epstein, which I think is where we need to go now. I definitely want to cover Epstein. This is important because the Epstein thing, there's a new Epstein release, and it includes videos and pictures, and well, let's just break it down. Let's just do it. They say it's all new. Yeah. They say it's all new.
Okay. Wait, I've seen this stuff before.
New Epstein files are unleashed with harrowing video and home photos from private islands. Okay. Never before seen videos and pictures of Jeffrey Epstein's private island were released by the Democrats on Wednesday. So you say you've seen this before.
These pictures, I've seen most.
You've seen both of these two pictures.
Yeah.
Okay. 10 images and 4 videos show the disgraced financier's home, including his library, featuring a chalkboard scrawled with cryptic words, and in another room, a dental chair with creepy masks on the walls. The latest dump is not the full trove Epstein files that Congress last month voted to release in a stunning blow to Donald Trump, who's dismissed the documents as a Democrat hoax. I don't think it's at all a blow to him, but he was saying release the files, so it's hard to figure out how that's a blow. The full files are set for release later this month after Trump signed the landmark Epstein Transparency Act, which was spearheaded by rebel Republican lawmakers, including Thomas Massie and Marjorie Taylor Greene. In the meantime, Democrats are keeping the pressure on Trump by releasing a constant drip of files the House Oversight Committee is privy to as part of its far-reaching powers to hold the government accountable. The new images provide a harrowing glimpse inside Little St. James, Epstein's private lair in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where he would host high-profile visitors and young girls flown in on his private jet dubbed Lolita Express. As well as the library and dental suite, the photo showed a steam room stacked with boxes of towels and linens beside pillows and bathroom hygiene products. The imagery gives viewers a tour of the island where Epstein allegedly carried out his trafficking crimes. Look at this.
Wait. I don't like that.
I don't like what I'm seeing here.
I don't like that at all. Look at the mask on the wall.
I think I think these masks in the back here are supposed to be Laurel and Hardy.
Okay. But like, why are they in this weird dental medical room?
I think the dental medical is probably used as a massage table type of thing. I'm not sure.
Are we sure about that?
I don't know.
But you think this guy doesn't have enough money to buy a separate massage chair?
True. He did have a massage table in New York and another one in Florida.
Yeah.
Yeah, this
Man,
is true.
I don't like this. This is gross.
I don't like this. I don't like the images I'm seeing here. Yeah. Latest attempts to increase transparency or Epstein's sexual trafficking shows images and video of his private Little St. James Island. There's the pillows and this is the steam. This is his steam room. This is inside his lair. This I remember seeing. This really rings a bell. I don't think this is new. Power, deception, plots, truth, appear. I don't know why they have such a close-up of his phone. Redacting names on the Rolodex of the telephone. Okay.
Yeah, that's great. That's what you ought to do.
There's a building complex. Him and Ghislaine Maxwell. She looks rough now. Have you seen her?
No. I don't do a lot of Ghislaine Maxwell Googling in my spare time.
You should.
I think
remedy that.
Fix that now. This is so gross.
Private Island has a sinister no trespassing sign. Lean against a rock. This really could be like from a horror film, right?
Yes. Yeah. No. Like it could be like one of these Taken films or something.
Yeah.
It's gross feeling. See, even this room. This is just supposed to be a bedroom, right? Like, why is it set up like this? Why does it feel like it's set up for viewing purposes? Right? It looks like a movie set, some weird, creepy. That's an order.
It feels like there's no fourth wall, right? Like there's like
yes. Where's the door? Where's the actual door to and why
probably
is your...
behind? I think it's I think it's actually over here is the door. But
okay, are those just indentions in the wall or those doors to other rooms? Why are your nightstands in front of the? Man, this feels.
Why is there a desk in
sterile.
front? Yes, very very sterile, very very sterile. It's creepy curtains.
Look again. This feels like it's set up for some sort of viewing purpose. No, stop it. This feels like a horror movie.
I think Brett Weinstein said that when he sat down and interviewed Epstein for an hour, and it's like he said it was one of the most bizarre experiences of his life. He said because it felt as if he was trying to do his damnedest to come across like a supervillain.
Okay.
Like that was like the angle. That was his angle. Is that he's like he didn't have a coffee table. He had a coffin that he used as a coffee table.
But
It's like, who does that? Why would you do that unless you're desperately trying to like almost make people think, moo when they walk in? Like
Funny
that's
said it. I bet this. I bet the stuff moves around the island by itself. Oh man!
it was the house was just here 5 minutes ago.
This honestly feels like a set. This feels like, all right, we've got to move these certain things out of the way to film certain stuff.
Yeah,
That's exactly what it feels like.
You can move all of these things in 3 minutes if the need came. It's true.
Yeah. And if this was a honeypot situation, which is what they claim it to be, yeah. Even this, go back up to the dental chair thing. Even that feels like it is set up for just, all right, put a camera here.
Yeah.
Right? I didn't even pay attention to that to begin with until we looked at all the other rooms.
Well, you can't see the fourth wall in any picture.
None of it. It's so uncomfortable feeling.
Yeah. The massive case against the offender expected to drag multiple high-profile individuals into the limelight was never seen through because he died, blah, 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 blah. He has more pictures. Only one cares about is the pictures and the videos. So why do they have... it's the same pictures over and over again. Okay, fine. So I saw a video at the top of this thing. Let's check this out. I feel as if these pictures were all out there. Thank you.
Say, weird.
Nice and warm in here.
That's a helicopter pad, by the way. Because what they would do is they would fly into St. James and then take a helicopter from there over to Little St. James.
Yeah. Okay.
Because they don't have a run, they don't have area for a runway there for a plane. So there you go. This is the next one. There's 4 videos. I don't remember seeing this. This might be new. I do remember seeing one video, I think. But this feels new to me. I don't remember seeing that dental chair. I feel like I would have remembered the dental chair.
Yeah, I've never seen the dental chair before.
The really spooky thing is at night you can hear the screams of victims. It does feel so haunted, everything about this. I wish they would take that off. All right, give us the
We're
next
potty
one.
training. He's got pull-ups training pants. They work just like undies. And if accidents happen, he's got backup. Look at that confidence.
Oh, I wish I had some of that.
Oh my.
This is a journey. Loosen up. New Disney and Marvel designs. Only at Walmart.
All right, here's the next one. I like it better without the music.
Yeah, it feels less creepy. It feels less like they're trying to brainwash us into going, "Oh, this
Yeah.
is normal. Yeah, this is fine."
Everything's gonna be okay.
Usaline says, "Does Sen have his pull-ups on?" I'm a big kid. All right, I wear underoos. Okay,
There you go. There you go.
it's so just so all of it is. I look at it and it just feels uncanny valley to me. Every bit of it.
There's a little compass there built into his helipad. So
Mm-mm.
you could tell how this had like potential.
For what? Terrifying dreams? What do you, it's this piece of real estate really has good bones to it, and a lot of them buried on it. I'll say.
No, I'm saying like, you have to picture like I'm sure when people first came to the island, you don't have the creepy background music. It doesn't feel like you're visiting someplace creepy necessarily, Like when the helicopter's coming down. I assume it's a shop for a helicopter.
I'm gonna grab something to drink. I'll be right back.
Yeah, go for it. So they gave us this today, and frankly, this feels like a whole lot of nothing. I don't know what we're getting out of this. I don't know what I'm getting out of this. But this is video, in case you joined late, this is video of Little St. James or Epstein Island. I don't know why they keep zeroing in on this building or the stuff on the roof. I have no idea what's happening here. I also don't even know if this video is like another 7 seconds long or another like 70 minutes long, which makes me concerned. I have concerns. I have thoughts about it being too long. Oh my God. This is like watching a Destiny video where he's like playing a video game while he's streaming. I get nauseous. I'm totally getting like, now I'm getting like airsick. Well, the Democrats released it brand new today. So I don't know what to tell you. It feels very, very spastic.
None of this looks beach vacation-y island fun time to me. None of it. Like none of this. It all feels very staged and sterile and nefarious. Like none of this goes, ooh, inviting.
But I think part of that, baked into that in part, is you know what this island was used for.
So you think it's like some sort of cognitive dissonance or whatever, some sort of mental bias? No, man, because like I've lived by the beach for a while. I've been to islands, not this nice and fancy and all that, but
yeah, the dome thing. I don't know. I don't know what the heck this is. The oil bunk. I don't know. I don't know why they keep showing us this. I also don't know how long this stupid video is. Like they
Well,
don't.
that's
Like,
clearly an underground bunker. Look at those vents.
oh, there it is. It's another 20 seconds. I don't care about this. I don't care about this. All right, give me the next one. Give me the next one. God, that was a waste. That was...
Back to the time I infiltrated Epstein Island. Then TikTok deleted me. They won't let me turn the save feature on.
Yeah, that's the building that everyone is like, what the hell is that?
Share and screen record before I get taken down.
That's supposed to be a Jewish temple, right? Like Eddie
I don't know what it's supposed to be. That's not. It's not like anything I've ever seen.
We did it.
What are we looking at here? All right, I don't care what we're looking at. I'm getting rid of this. This is more Epstein files. I don't care. This is supposed to be his plane. Oh, look at that in the back there.
Okay. What do we? They say, hey,
This
let's
is
get
they call this plane Lolita Express. This,
yeah, I know
think this
that.
was
Like
the-
that's gross in and of itself. Like, did they get people to film this? They said, hey, can we get the creepiest filmmakers to film all of these? Can none of these not be unsettling? Yeah, that was its real name, Earl Ward.
Lolita Express.
Yeah, that was its real name. Yeah.
Is it? Was it its real name?
I'm pretty positive. I don't think that was just a code name.
I don't think this is him anymore. I don't know what this is. I don't think that's him. Let me see. I don't know what this is. I don't think that's his plane. It looks too. See, here's the thing. This looks genuinely rich. This looks genuinely rich.
Yeah.
This looks like it's like, you know, it's
Air Force Wood.
Yeah, this looks like something like this doesn't look creepy at all.
No.
Yeah. So I don't think this is a 400 million pound ultimate private jet. So yeah. Which is not. That's not his.
No.
Yeah, maybe the fact that it feels like it's like, you know, it's a set from like, you know, some sort of like vintage type of unsettling studio. That's probably what you're sensing there. That's possibly what you're sensing there. Anyhow, I don't know what we get out of this. I'm not sure what the drips and drabs are, other than to get people talking Epstein and thinking negatively about Trump. Why the Democrats think they're gaining out of having this steady drip drab of releases. Someone probably thinks that no, this way we have Epstein in everyone's mind, and people will talk about their spurious allegations about Trump. So I think that's probably why they're doing this. But I don't think it does anything. I don't think anyone actually cares about this.
No, I don't think it moves the needle one way or the other. It does feel like they filmed it in a weird way to try to make you to tug at those strings.
I personally believe he was part of the Montauk experiments, and it continues elsewhere, including the Oscans and his New Mexico home, and that's the chair. I don't know what the Montauk experiments are. Do you know what that is?
No, I have no idea what that is. Are we going to go down a rabbit hole?
I don't want to spend really more than 30 seconds Googling what that is.
Well, I mean, you just got paid for it, so I think you owe more than 30, at least 45 seconds.
A radar technician reveals secret government experiments at Camp Hero involving mind control, matter manipulation, and time travel capabilities discovered. This is like some sort of, I don't know, some book, which I assume is fiction. I don't know. Chair looks like a TMS, transcranial magnetic stimulation chair. Interesting. Could be.
It looked like
It's
a
like something
dinner
that
chair
like
to
was
me.
basically like fingers in your scalp kind of thing. I don't
Could
know.
be. I don't know.
Republicans, you are upset about Epstein. The CIA tried to overthrow the presidency. Derelict planes not flown since 1990s.
Thank you.
I don't know what the last. I don't know what the last part of that was supposed to be saying. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I don't get that. I'm sorry. All right. But I did have here Soltron saying, has Joe or Sin ever talked about Jeffrey Epstein's procreation plans? I'm unfamiliar with his procreation plans. Have you ever heard anything about his procreation plans?
No.
You
Not at
haven't?
all. Not even a little bit. What don't wait, whoa. Hold up. What's that smile for? Don't put that smile on. I don't like this. No. Joe, what are you
I vaguely recall hearing something which I think
pulling
involves
up?
cryogen. I don't. Let's see what he's got.
I don't like this. I don't like this at all. Okay. I feel now like I've been trapped. All right. Like I'm in a corner and I'm uncomfortable with this situation. What are you pulling up to show me? To share with me now.
This
I
is
don't
pretty
like
funny.
the smirk. Stop with the smirk. This is a serious show. We discuss serious topics here, okay?
It is, but yeah, this is
I don't like it. And stop with it.
Epstein reportedly hoped to develop super race of humans with his DNA.
What the hell?
The offender hoped to seed human race with his DNA by impregnating 20 women at a time, according to the New York Times. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh man, no, thank you.
You don't want to know more?
I mean, I don't think I have a choice now. We've already
Jeffrey
read the
Epstein, wealthy
headline.
financier accused of trafficking, planned to develop an improved super race of humans, better than you, Sin, using genetic engineering and artificial intelligence. In the aftermath of his 2008 sex trafficking conviction, Epstein hoped to seed the human race with his DNA by impregnating women in his ranch, New Mexico, one of the properties where young women, including minors, were allegedly abused. Though there's little evidence the scheme ever progressed beyond fantasy, prominent scientists, including the late Stephen Hawking, regularly attended dinners, lunches, and conferences held by Epstein, and the Times said, can you just even imagine Stephen Hawking at the island there?
Yes. Oh, yes. That's great. Nice.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What is? Are you okay?
I can't feel that, but right there. Oh, yeah.
It's so messed up. Oh, it's so messed. Oh my god. Oh my god. It's wrong on so many levels. It's wrong rolling backwards and forwards. Oh my god.
All right. Okay. Serious news show.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. All right. Epstein has long been accused of abusing underage girls, which makes it less funny. Although I do think that a lot what he allegedly was doing with a lot of them. This was a theory that I think it was Mike Benz was putting out. which is, and I want to be 100% crystal clear here, and that the idea of underage girls being abused or anyone being abused is horrific and not at all a laughing matter. So I don't want anyone to think that I don't want anyone to think that either I or Sin think that that's remotely funny. But
100%.
But I do look at it like he sort of used it like his own like Diddy type of place also. Mike Benz basically is like, when he was talking about his connections to triple letter agencies, so he was speculating that the most likely thing is that he had ties where he's not considered an agent of the CIA or informant. I think that there's a technical term they use for like a useful asset type of thing. That wasn't the actual term, but that they basically a useful source or a useful relationship or something like that he has, where the CIA sometimes, if they want to engage in an operation, let's say they want to stage a color revolution in some third world country. So now you sort of need to embed yourself with the populace. It's not easy to do that from scratch. It's much easier if you go to someone who has a relationship with, let's say you're doing it in the country of Guyana, right? So you want to stage a color revolution in Guyana. The easiest way to do that is to find someone who's likely going to be sympathetic, who you ask them sort of do a favor for you, where you say, we'd like you to have a party and invite these people and, invite these 10 different people, because you've been doing business in Guyana for the last 7 years. You have contacts there, relationships, and make like a party. So now he's not an agent. He knows that there's the CIA is trying to orchestrate something through that party, or it doesn't even have to be like a party, which, that sounds like more like a movie type of thing. It's more of a matter of like a financial deal. Like, hey, we'd really like you to invest in this bridge or something like that, where it gives them an opportunity to sort of funnel money to potential revolutionaries. So he's already there in Guyana anyway. So now we want you and you'll get money from the deal, but you're sort of like someone who's willing to be cooperative with the CIA, who already has contacts in the country. So he said that's the most likely sort of thing. Now, when you look at it from that sort of perspective, assuming you're looking to be making deals with wealthy people, and this would apply whether he's CIA, KGB, which there's a lot of reasons to think that he had Russian ties also, MI6, Mossad, any of them, that they likely would have young women there. I don't mean underage women. I'm simply saying attractive models.
Okay.
Basically prostitutes who would, in elegantly, try and make these wealthy people enjoy their time. And people will look at it like, oh, I'm going to have spend a weekend talking business with and hanging out on his island and talking business. And there's going to be there'll be other attention and other things that I can grab my attention while I'm there. So
it's a honeypot. Yeah.
And a classic honeypot, without it necessarily being like, now we got film, we're blackmailing you with some underage girl, but it's more a matter of, we want you to that you're going to try and set up in a way that's, he's like, so the KGB would have all sorts of Russian agents who they sort of want to be able to get information on people, and they would basically have these supermodel Russians who would just be going down there. That's why you wouldn't hear complaints, because a lot of the people who are probably performing at the island are not minors, but people who have ties to various intelligence agencies. But that wouldn't make him an agent. It would make him an asset, and potentially have multiple agencies. And he knows that, hey, if I work with the KGB and do a favor for them here, in that case, I want to establish business in Russia, so they'll do favors for me, or the CIA will help me out with various different things. So that's why when he gets into legal trouble, CIA is like, look, we really kind of like the idea of being able to use him again in the future. So we don't want him going to jail, so cut him a sweetheart deal. That's the speculation, as far as that's very, very different from the worst possible things that he's done, or the worst possible ways that he was used, which is that one of these agencies is using him as in the ugly type of honeypot way. This is the concern that, MAGA has had about Epstein for ages, which is that he was purposefully set up with all his islands and wealth and huge bank accounts, and no one can figure out how he got it, so that he could create a clientele that is underage for the purposes of blackmailing them. So this way, different agencies could blackmail folks who visited the island. And that's possible. It's possible that it's both. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Okay.
once the island's there, it's possible it's both. They're like, hey, sometimes we'll use it this way, sometimes we'll use it that way. He definitely was a sicko in his private life. I mean, this guy had a strong yen for girls as young as 12 years old. He was
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
He was
no,
he was a very sick, twisted, perverted, awful person. So the idea that he would be, spoon feeding minors and having them destroying their lives with other third parties on an international stage or domestically is certainly very conceivable, considering who this a-hole was. But but as far as what the CIA knew or didn't know about all this stuff, I don't know. I don't know. That's if you're going to be, you can be generous or you could be like very aggressive in your attack. And I guess the more they try to hide what they've been doing, the less benefit of the doubt you or I or the public is more apt to give them, right?
Yeah. No, I agree. The thing is, nowadays, reputation is so important, especially in politics and all this stuff. You can get caught cheating, and then there goes your entire career. So hopefully there was a lot more of that sort of thing going on, of people stepping out on their spouse instead of the very gross, nefarious things that we know Epstein was involved in.
Right.
That's my prayer, anyway.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
So when you were describing Stephen Hawking, I was picturing him with like a 22-year-old, not like.
Yeah, exactly. That was a long way to say that's what we were describing. Way to go, Joe. You should have landed there. You took a back road when you should have hit the interstate. But hey, we got there. It's okay. We worked it out.
Worked the way around there.
Seriously, Joe.
Only because I was like, yeah, whatever. We got there.
Don't Streisand affect it now. What are you doing? Stop it. You nailed it.
And the other story I want to share with you all is Representative Henry Sueller saying, I assume it's Sueller, not Cueller. I don't know. But he's a Democrat. And Biden and Trump made this, and he was a Democrat who was prosecuted by the Biden administration for allegedly engaging in bribery and other schemes. His claim was that it was all bogus and that he was targeted because he spoke out against illegal immigration. And the Biden administration doesn't like Democrats doing that. So Donald Trump today pardoned this Democrat congressman. For years, the Biden administration weaponized the justice system against their political opponents and anyone who disagreed with them. One of the clearest examples of this was when Crooked Joe used the FBI and DOJ to take out a member of his own party after highly respected Congressman Henry Sueller bravely spoke out against open borders and the Biden border catastrophe. Sleepy Joe went after the congressman and even the congressman's wonderful wife, Imelda, simply for speaking the truth. It is un-American, and as I previously stated, the radical left Democrats are a complete and total threat to democracy. They will attack, rob, lie, cheat, destroy, and decimate anyone who dares to oppose their far-left agenda, an agenda that, if left unchecked, will obliterate our magnificent country. Because of these facts and others, I am hereby announcing my full and unconditional pardon of beloved Texas Congressman Henry Cueller and Imelda. Henry, I don't know you, but you can sleep well tonight. Your nightmare is finally over. And he says, I want to thank President Trump for his tremendous leadership and for taking time to look at the facts. I thank God for standing with my family. And during this difficult time, this decision clears the air and lets us move forward for South Texas. The pardon gives us a clean slate. Noise is gone. The work remains, and I intend to meet it head on. Thank you, Mr. President. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Did you ever hear this guy before?
I don't think so.
Me either. Me either.
Yeah, I've never heard of him. I can't think of a time I have. So
Yeah. So, you curious what crimes he was charged with?
of course, why not? Hit me with him.
We'll ask Grok about that.
No, wait, Grok is our source. I was
Yeah,
told
yeah.
that was bad.
Henry Seller thanks President Trump. Blah 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 blah. What was he? No, what's other? What was he charged with? That's what I want to know. He was indicted in May 2024 by a federal grand jury in the Southern District of Texas in 14 counts related to an alleged bribery and money laundering scheme spanning 2014 to 2021. Prosecutors accused the couple of accepting nearly $600,000 in bribes from an Azerbaijan-owned oil and gas company and a Mexican bank, laundered through sham consulting contracts in exchange for Sueller influencing U.S. legislation and policy to benefit those entities. This included advocating for Azerbaijan in Congress and supporting measures favorable to the Mexican bank, such as blocking payday lending regulations. Full list of charges along maximum penalties if convicted is as follows. So 5 years for conspiracy to bribery, 15 years for bribery federal office official, 20 years for conspiracy to commit honest services wire fraud, 2 years for violating the ban on public officials acting as agents of foreign principal, FARA. 20 years for conspiracy to commit money laundering, and 20 years for money laundering.
Oh no.
These are very serious. These are very serious charges, obviously. His name is pronounced Cuellar.
Don't say that.
I never would have gotten that. I never would have gotten there.
Calm down. Okay.
I never gotten there.
So he's done some oopsies.
Yeah.
A little couple 2-3 oopsies, huh? All right.
One or two.
Couple,
one or two.
You know.
Duck Fat agrees that it's definitely Cuellar. So we're gonna go with Cuellar.
Stop saying it.
But that's what they're saying he did. That's what they're saying. That's what they're saying that he did. Now, obviously, Trump would be, you would think, very attuned to someone being persecuted rather than prosecuted.
Yeah, I would think so.
So, I'm curious what evidence do they have that he committed these crimes?
Do you have your keyboard on a snare drum? I'm curious, just from the sound that it makes.
I really, for Black Friday, I really should have got a new keyboard.
I don't think they sell old typewriters like that anymore.
Instead, I got earpods. I really should have gotten a keyboard. Key evidence. The evidence outlined in a 54-page federal indictment unsealed May 3rd, 2024. Text message exchanges and documentation of official acts performed by Cuellar. Prosecutors alleged 2 overlapping bribery schemes from 2014 to 2021, totaling nearly $600,000 in bribes from an Azerbaijan state-owned oil company, a Mexican bank. Funds were laundered through sham consulting contracts with shell companies controlled by Cuellar's wife, Imelda, who performed no legitimate work.
Okay.
Bank records and wire transfers showed bribe payments funneled through multiple layers of shell companies and middlemen to conceal origins. Total bribes were $350 from Azerbaijan, $238,000 from Mexican bank. All right. I feel as if I'm not going to be able to assess from just an overview. I would really have to go through and see to sort of try to vet out, and that's way too much effort for a case that's done. for a Democrat who's been pardoned. I'm really not that interested because I just think it's interesting. To me, what's interesting about this is that he's pardoning a Democrat congressman. Do you think that's surprising?
No, I don't think so. Not if he thinks it's nefarious by any means. I think he gets what's going on. So no,
To me, it actually reflects well on him that
I
he's.
agree. Yeah.
It reflects well on him. It's because it comes across as though he cares about principle over party,
Mm-hmm.
and he's like, "This is not something I can stand for."
Well, if he sees it as a witch hunt and he's got the evidence in front of him and he's got enough experts around him that he can say, "Hey, read through all this and tell me what you really think about it." Then yeah. Look at that joke. Look at that joke paid off. Brian actually wrote a message.
That was funny. That was funny. We are in our added time, by the way, just letting you all know, because and Brian Oldenkamp is the one who basically convinced me with his very generous bringing folks on in here to count that towards between he and Lizzie. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna.
You just gotta extend it. You didn't even tell me. You didn't even.
I didn't
say,
even
hey,
tell you.
didn't
I didn't even tell
me.
you. I'm considering this.
How is this not a
because
cold
of
then?
Brian? Because of Brian, I'm considering this goal met. If you need to go, by the way,
no,
that's totally cool.
We're good. No, we're fine.
I don't want to.
No, we started at 6:30 your time, 5:30 my time. We're good. We're fine. It's whenever we go like midnight, 1, 2 o'clock. That's when I start going. Drowsy cynic is not funny cynic.
That's true. That's true. You actually kind of suck when you get drowsy. So yeah.
Really? Thanks for.
Don't be self-conscious about it.
Joe, you said that we would talk about this after the show, not in front of the chat. Why are you doing
only
this?
a Dem, he also voted to impeach Trump. This guy. It's a great point. Great point.
Wow. Yeah. No, that's even if he didn't believe it was a witch hunt, that is a very good political move. I think. A little 4D chess from the Don.
Yeah. By the way, I meant to call out. I missed this yesterday at the end of my stream last night when I had a second show. I did 2 shows yesterday. So someone dropped a Rumble rant at the very end, J. Dean, and was upset that I didn't. It seemed a little upset. I think it was. It might have even come in after I finished because it was that close to the end. Like no one spoke after.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone was ready saying goodbye, but J. Dean sent a $20 rant yesterday saying, "Hey Joe, what do you know? Only a greeting, not questioning your intelligence. The Destiny debate was crazy. He was ignorant. His ignorance was obvious. Plus, he let his wife step out." Do you you didn't catch any of that debate, did you?
I saw a clip of it, and I was actually going to try to watch it and mess with you before the show, but I got busy doing
Wait,
I had to go run.
If you saw a clip, that was probably a Destiny individual.
Yeah, it was
who clipped, which is shocking to me because I'm like, there was nothing. I expected them to bring a lot more. I expected it to be like a lot more sound than what it was. It was literally just yelling at me that I'm a retard, and I'm answering a question. And they're like, they never have any answers. They now it's like. You ask me a question. It's almost like saying, if you frame a question to me, can Erica Kirk win a lawsuit against Candace Owens? I'm like, possibly. Like I'm sort of like thinking it through. And when I was watching Nick Rekieta break it down, and he actually did because he watched much of it,
mm-hmm.
and he actually broke down something very accurate, which is one of the differences between people who are talking and debating when they're lawyers or not, is that we are trained to be cautious in giving our assessment and capturing that in a way that's going to reflect the fact that a lot remains unknown and things depend. So if you ask me, like, so they'll ask me a question: has Trump ever ratcheted up the violent rhetoric? So I got to think about that. I'm like, you mean willfully? Like, what part of what he said who is it impacting? How much? They're like, and then like 90%. Did he not like is 90%? I'm like, I don't know what numbers mean here. And then
that
they're
doesn't make any. I was about to ask you that. What does the
and then they would
90% mean?
guffaw and say, "You
Uh-huh.
see, he can't even answer an easy question." It's like you just want
You
me
know
to
how I
just
would have answered that?
what, how would you
Literally, I would have said yes. Yeah, I think so. And what do you want? What's your point?
No, so I mean the nature of the conversation is he to blame for the National Guard, and I think that was a preposterous thing.
I would have said no. No, he's not.
But what I'm saying is, I understand how you would have answered it.
Mhm.
As a lawyer, that's
You're trying to like mitigate some sort of gotcha.
No, not
risk, or is
mitigate.
it-
It's not mitigate. It's
Hey,
that
hey,
I
hey,
don't.
I'm right here. I'm on your side. Don't.
No, but I think you're misspeaking. I think you're
Okay,
misunderstanding
you're
the
fine.
point.
Go ahead.
It's not mitigate. It's that I'm
Uh-huh.
trying to think through what's an actually truthful answer. So
Got you.
if
Mhm.
if is you want to tell let's say someone would go out there and he was to ratchet up a whole bunch of nuns and get them really, really angry.
Yes.
I understand he's not addressing nuns, but let's just deal with a
But
crazy
yes,
example.
yeah, you say he does. Okay.
A whole bunch of nuns who, are sworn to never engage in any sort of violence and get them really angry and wanting to harm people.
Okay.
Is he ratcheting up violence?
No.
Why? He's pushing them. Like he's like, no, and let's say
Well,
he's very overt about it. Let's say he's very overt
let me
about
actually answer it logically. Yes, he is. But what's who is he ratcheting it up to, right? So yeah, he can be
And what are the
using
ramifications of
violent
that?
rhetoric, but at what point does it affect anything?
Exactly. And that was a major part of my point. Where I'm like, hey,
That's why I
who's
was
listening to him? Well, if he says, hey, there's gonna be repercussions, there's gonna be hell to pay, and the American people are gonna stand for it. Well, in that case, the people who would be listening to it would be people on the right. Do you think people on the left are gonna be like, hey, he said go out there and punish your political opponents? That means I'm gonna go shoot a MAGA guy. I don't think they listen to anything he says as
that
like
was my
this is
point
instruction.
that was my point with my answers earlier, right? I would have said no, and then I would ask him, well, what's your point? Who is it affecting? Does he bluster and raise the rhetoric, raise the temperature in a conversation? Sure, of course he does. He's the president. He gives speeches, but what is it affecting? At what point? Who is listening to him? Who is going out there? What Republican have you seen go out there and shoot a Democrat?
Well, the point that I'm getting at here is I want to know what audience is he talking to, what ramifications does it has, what yardstick are we using to measure whether it's anything anything noticeable, like that we know that it's anything noticeable that there's a single person who went out there and did any action because of something he said, something specific that he said. And I'm like,
well, you can't find a
don't,
single instance of that, I don't think.
That's my point. So that's why I'm like, but I know that he can be trolling and aggravating to people.
Well,
so
just because he raises the rhetoric, right?
Because of all these factors. So instead of giving a yes or no, I'll start laying out those factors. Much as I did with you, I'll start laying out with them. And like, you see, and they'll cut me off like 7 seconds into it and say, you see, the MAGA can never answer. They have no answers because they have to. And it's like, no,
I see what they did. They took the way I would debate you and argue with you, and they took the way, and yeah, okay.
And it's
right.
like you're not winning an argument.
Yeah.
You're not winning an argument. You're not proving a point.
Exactly.
You're trying to gotcha me just because I'm not willing to just give a generic, a flat yes, flat no, which is stupid. You're not proving anything.
Yeah, but see, here's the problem with somebody like Destiny. I've watched tons of his debates. If you would have gave a flat yes, flat no, you have to, whichever path you choose, you have to stick to it and keep hammering that, right? And if you would have gave a flat yes, flat no.
But the point is, that's
well, they would have spun
it's
around.
It's a false choice. It's
exactly.
a false choice because there is no yes and there's
100%.
no, and that's why I'm not going to play along with your false choice. So that's why I'll be like, well, it depends on how you're looking at this.
No matter which way you would have went, he would have argued the counter. So if you would have said yes, then he would have said.
And that's not trying to search for fact or proof.
No, not at all.
That's trying to win an argument. That's just trying to win an argument. That's all it is. And that's trying to get like a viral clip. So like,
but that's debate bros. That's Twitch debate bros.
That's childishness.
You're not going to solve anything there. You're not going to get a meeting of the minds and come to where me and you have had debates on this show.
You're not proving even a meeting of the minds. You're not proving something. I actually proved a couple of points there where I was like, I actually ended up proving to them that what those seditious six did could very foreseeably would likely have an impact on harming our military by some degree. I said to the extent there's anyone in the military who's a big Slotkin supporter, a big Mark Kelly supporter, and takes what they say seriously and really trusts them, assuming you believe there's anyone in the military like that, there's probably more than one. So you're telling me that if they that now, if they're saying all the time that he's issuing one unconstitutional order after another, and now they say if you're not allowed to follow his unconstitutional orders, you have duty to disregard him, and if you don't disregard him, we're going to prosecute you. You think that that's someone who takes them seriously? Not me. I look at them as a joke. So if someone with my mentality is in the military, they wouldn't take it seriously. But someone, you tell me that's someone who takes them seriously is not going to start questioning? Not one person, and they have to make a decision that judges can't even come to a conclusion about. Like, is this constitutional or is it not? So, and you're telling me that you don't want that the objective here was not to have him think twice about that? How does that not impede our military?
Yeah.
And to the extent it's impeding our military, that's a violation of 18 U.S.C. 2387.
Yes.
And that's why people refer to him as a seditious six. And they had nothing left for that. They're
no, because they don't care about facts. They really don't. What they care about is like exactly what you said is a gotcha. And Destiny is a debate bro, always been a debate bro. But he speaks in a eloquent manner usually, and he'll act like he knows.
He doesn't even.
Well, I'm saying the way he
it was
talks
mostly expletives. It was so much expletives
nowadays. Yeah.
Like that everything was like I'm an effing retard, and it just got like more graphic the longer it went on. But the point that I'm getting
Destiny for you, I'll do it. Do you want me to do it? I'll do it for you.
No,
I can use expletives.
What I'm saying is, no, I don't care if I get expletives. Yeah. I think my audience cares more than I do. Like I don't care. I'm like, okay, like to me, it's like a white flag.
Yeah, I got you.
But it's like sort of my perspective on it is you're losing, and I'm like, I don't know what they have left to clip. I was actually I think he used to be better at debating.
Yeah, the last time I did watch him debate, he really puts on this air of I have studied this topic and I can speak upon it with authority. And that clip, I didn't see any of that. But again,
he still tries to do that, and I was like, you have no idea what he was doing about the law, and I was like, you have zero clue about basic civics. Like you don't understand. I said, I'm astonished. I can't even believe how little you understand about civics. So you don't understand.
Yeah, you should watch his debate that he did with Mr. Medicare back in the day about immigration. It was hilarious. It was absolutely hilarious. But no, like that's what he does, and then he comes with a false sense of authority because he studied a couple documents or a couple,
and gets it wrong,
whatever. Yeah, 100%.
And then says, "Ha ha, I won. Ha ha, you got nothing. I won. They have nothing."
It's weird to see him. He's won every debate, supposedly. Every single debate. I've never seen him say, you know what? You got me on this one. Ever? Not one time, Destiny? Ooh, okay. Maybe that's why your son's now a conservative and trolled you so hard he got kicked off of Twitch.
Did he really?
Yes.
I never heard about this.
Yes. He trolled his dad with like a fake gun and he got kicked off Twitch because of it. Yeah, his son's a right winger. He's like a little 16-year-old trad kid. It's funny.
Darren points out, if you're in the service, it's serious if you're trying to follow lawful orders and you're being hit with the Nuremberg rhetoric. Administrations change. Yeah, and that's designed to chill them, saying we're going to be in power one day and we're going to try and find bases to call what you did unconstitutional and prosecute you. Now, I would tell you what Hegseth should do, and he has to send this out through the entire military. This is actually in the UCMJ. That the only time it's true they have to follow unconstitutional orders. Every order they get from a commanding officer, by default, they are obliged, they've committed to accept that as being a constitutional order, unless it is manifestly unconstitutional. It's like something this cannot be constitutional, but something that's remotely borderline, you have a duty to follow that order. And that's something that Hegseth, as Secretary of War, should be pounding into his military to the extent that there's any questions that are there, and to reaffirm their commitment to basically tuning out the rhetoric from these idiots. Because like I said, under the UCMJ, you want to know what's an example? They give examples of what's manifestly unconstitutional. Because a lot of you might be wondering what they give a few examples. So one example is forging documents.
Okay,
you can see how that how is that possibly, what was another one? Theft.
Okay.
That's manifestly unconstitutional.
Gotcha.
So they don't put murder in there because there are times if you're in war, you're going to have to kill people. But stealing from people, that's manifestly. I think torture could be theoretically. I'm not even sure about that one. I'm not even sure about that.
I think they allow that actually up to a certain point in a way.
Yeah. I mean, because what at what point does it become cruel and unusual?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. So I don't know how I got started talking. I don't know what made me bring that topic up with you.
Well, you asked me if I'd seen your Destiny debate. Now I'm gonna go watch it, and then I'm gonna. I mean, I'm not a very big YouTuber, but I'm gonna start spamming Destiny to debate me, bro. I gotta fight for my co-host honor now. Debate me, bro. I love debating though; it's so much fun to me. But yeah,
I want to give you some happy stories.
I would love that. That would be nice for once. It would be fantastic to come on this show and be with a cult. I mean, not a cult, and not have my brain melt out of my ears.
I have two happy stories for you.
Okay.
One of them is 100% happy.
Okay. Hold up. Okay. What's the other one then?
You'll see.
No, you can't just. Okay. Yeah, fine. I'm here.
The House unanimously approves barring anyone tied to Hamas October 7th attack from entering the U.S.
All right. Good.
This is Democrats and Republicans unanimously agreeing that anyone who is involved in the October 7th attack is barred from entering the U.S. The bill put Hamas perpetrators in the same category as Nazi collaborators, Representative Tom McClintock said. Good for them.
Yeah.
The House unanimously passed the bill on Monday, barring anyone linked to Hamas October 7, 2023 attack on Israel from moving to the United States. And it's a rare moment of bipartisanship on the topic of Israel, an issue that otherwise exacerbated deep fractures within both parties in the House of Representatives, particularly for Democrats. The Republican-led legislation is called the No Immigration Benefits for Hamas Terrorist Act of 2025, introduced by McClintock. And I have to say, I didn't think that there would be unanimity here. It passed the House by voice vote on Monday afternoon, which means Ilhan Omar wasn't there. Nor was Rashida. I don't know. Meaning in advance with unanimous approval without lawmakers taking individual votes on the bill. There's still some things we can come together on in this body. One of them is opposition to Hamas and terrorism they unleashed on civilians in Israel more than 2 years ago. What this does is place them in the same category as Nazi collaborators in the Holocaust, which were also referenced in the Immigration Nationality Act. So good for McClintock. Good to see that once in a while you can have something that there is bipartisanship and unanimity in the House, right?
Yeah. I think so. I think that's great that we got them to agree on something. That shows that they can agree on one thing.
That's true. That's true.
That's beautiful. That's right before Christmas too, and Hanukkah. So.
Yeah. Another happy story for you.
Okay. Well, is this the one that is got an odd percentage that you don't want to share with me? Don't the look every time with the look. It's something. Never mind. I'm just not. You know what? I'm not going to question it anymore. I'm here on Wednesdays to entertain the chat. And
you heard of Dell, right? As in Dell Computers.
Yeah, 100%.
So the owners are the Dells. They're billionaires.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? They're worth like $150 billion or something like that.
Ooh.
Well, thanks to Donald Trump,
they
decided to give money to American children.
Okay.
Donating the largest donation and one-shot donation that anyone has ever given probably in recorded history. Seriously. That's what I said. Nice story. 61-year-old and her husband, Michael, 60, announced Tuesday that they will put $250 in the pockets of 25 million children across the country, marking one of the largest ever philanthropic donations to Americans. The money expands the number of youngsters who receive seed money for investments dubbed Trump accounts, which the president announced in July. This is every child.
Wait.
Born between like There's $1,000 for newborns and $250 for children like 10 and under. That's what they're giving. $6 billion.
That's not cheap.
No, that's really amazing. Money expands the number of youngsters who receive seed money. So while many were thrilled to hear demonstrations, some just could not get past Susan's striking facial appearance during the announcement, with Susan's name trending online Tuesday. I didn't give you the headline of this story because I thought this was such a nice story. This is really, this is genuine. This is crazy generosity. The headline,
I think so.
The headline of the story is "Cruel Internet Trolls Mock Plastic Surgery of Dell Billionaire 61 After She Announced $6.2 billion to donation to America's children." It's like they're doing something nice. They're doing something ridiculously generous that you almost certainly would not do.
Yeah.
And now she's like become like an internet joke for it because no one would have been looking at her. So in that sense, it's horrific. I think it's beautiful what they did.
Yeah.
I think it's horrific how she's being treated.
It's disgusting.
It is. It's like, why would anyone do something nice if I'm going to be scrutinized, for like my looks because of it?
Oh man, this is terrible.
Yeah,
this is terrible.
So I say kudos. I say kudos to them. I almost don't want to show you the picture.
Don't do that to me. What do you? All right, Joe. We've hung out for a couple months now, and I think you know me a little bit.
Yeah, that's why.
And you. So you.
It's an unfortunate picture.
Is the angle bad or is it?
No, it's not the angle. It's not the angle.
Bad lighting. Bad lighting.
It's probably surgery.
Okay. All right.
She's got a lot of money to invest in her face,
which means she can fix it. Hopefully.
She's 61, so.
Okay, well, you got to show me the picture now. There's no way not to. And now, look, I'm in a no-win situation because if the audience wants to hear me laugh, well, then I've got to laugh.
It's no good deed, and it's a horrible thing.
Why are you acting like? Why would you do this to me?
Many online were wondering whether she had undergone cosmetic adjustments or plastic surgery. I'm really shocked that Susan Dell isn't saving this for more plastic surgery. The $6 billion. She still resembles some form of a human. Just saying. That's how aggressive they were.
It. Don't read it like you're disgusted and you know what? I don't like what you're doing to me. Oh no.
Yeah.
It's not that bad. She was clear. Obviously, right? She was really surprised.
She looks like a puppet.
Yo.
She does.
Wait, stop saying it so nonchalantly to me. Like, what are you doing to me? No, obviously, she was very surprised there. She can clearly blink. I'm
not sure she can. I'm not sure she can. That's what she used to look like.
She was pretty.
20 years ago.
Why does that guy on the left look like what's his name? Pimp on a Blimp.
I don't know who that is. That's her husband, Michael Dell.
She was very pretty.
Yeah, that's Michael and Susan Dell.
Very. You have got me in such a tough position right now. I don't know.
This is why I didn't want to show you. This is why I didn't want to show you.
I am Ricky Bobby right now. I don't know what to do with my hands. Yeah, Alex Stein. Thank you so much. That looks like Alex Stein on the left.
It does look a little bit
looks like Alex Stein.
Yeah.
There's no more pictures though, right?
That's it.
That's the only one.
The first thought I had
was the Google more, wasn't it?
No.
The Google more and sit there and point and laugh at the poor lady who was clearly just surprised because she had gotten an award, obviously, or some sort of notoriety for her charity.
Think she would. No, I don't think.
That's what happened, and they took a bad photo of her, and now you think that she has no eyelids and can't blink.
I think she's got eyelids. I think that the eyebrows are stuck in that position. When I see, I'm a very old man.
Stop! What are you doing to me? You're torturing me. It's the holidays.
I'm a very old man, so I'm going somewhere with this.
Okay.
When I was a little boy, which I was at one point in my life. So I used to watch Mr. Rogers.
Mm-hmm.
Did you ever watch Mr. Rogers in your life?
I have watched Mr. Rogers.
You remember how they had King Friday? I really thought of Lady Elaine when I saw this. I was like, wow.
Stop.
That's what I thought of.
Quit making the face. You, Joe.
Face?
You know. Okay, you're gonna sit there and act like you didn't just do a face.
I don't know.
Stop. I'm the bad
I don't
guy.
even know what you're talking about.
I get it. See what he's doing to me, chat? I'm the bad guy. I'm the bad guy.
No idea what you're talking about.
I think
this is why I was like, I can't show it to you. I know. I know what's gonna happen.
I'm obviously she's very surprised. Somebody said.
No one told me we're giving $6 billion away.
No, what are you doing?
What?
Oh.
Okay, Val says torture is not included. A bunch of people got court-martialed in Guantanamo for that. Theft is questionable. We've been told to fix something, and he doesn't want to know how. Okay. It's basically come down to are you willing to go in front of a tribunal for your decision to ignore an order? No order is unlawful till a panel decides. Yep, every order is presumed lawful. Every one of them. Even if it's... that's why for them to come out and make that statement is just the only possible reason is to make people question themselves. All the time.
Yeah.
That's what the whole point is.
Yeah.
So
so glad you moved off of the last topic. That was pretty surprising, but you know.
Hands One Pack says if you invest $1,250 at birth, because it's $250 from Hands One Pack and $1,000 that Trump's giving, with an 8% return, you would have $216,000 at age 67. This would be total between Dell and Trump, $1,000. I think in 67 years, it's not going to be worth anything, $200,000, honestly. But,
wait, say that again. What was your
67 years from now? What do you think $200,000 is going to be worth?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Spicy Sophism says KZZI K75 on Amazon. Difference between Pro and Lite is built-in USB hub. Tactile switches help prevent bottoming keys or get something with silent red switches for ultimate quiet. Oh, this is on my keyboard. That's my keyboard. Wait, what am I supposed to do? Amazon Pro and Lite is built-in USB hub. Tactile switches help prevent bottoming keys out or get something with silent red switches for ultimate quiet.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So that way it doesn't sound like you're got your keyboard rested on a bass drum. But it's not so much the clacking. It's like your desk is a drum set.
Mm-hmm.
It has this weird reverb.
All right.
Yeah. What else we got?
More good news.
All right, good. Thank you. Okay.
Breaking Governor Tim Walz under federal investigation for allowing Somali immigrants to steal billions in taxpayer dollars.
Trump shutting off the money faucet for fraudsters. Somali pirates in Minnesota looted us for $1 billion with a B. And that doesn't count all the welfare we handed out after importing them here.
So, yeah, I'm not going to go through his 4-minute report here. But he's now under investigation, which that's long overdue. Long overdue. Hopefully the investigation actually leads to indictments. And then there was this. Holy crap. FBI agents walking out with boxes of evidence, one of 2 facilities raided in Minnesota. Court docs show a dozen defendants involved in a $250 million scheme to overprescribe autism. I think it's actually the $400 million scheme. Tim Walz ignored this. Him and Ilhan Omar are going down.
It's a familiar sight in Minnesota. This exclusive video shows FBI agents walking out with boxes of evidence.
And that is absolutely something that our community cannot sustain.
one of 2 facilities raided on Thursday: Star Autism Center's office in St. Cloud and Smart Therapy Center in Minneapolis. Familiar because this is what it looked like when agents raided homes connected to the largest pandemic fraud case in the country. And new court documents show at least a dozen of the defendants charged for their role in the Feeding Our Future scheme owned, received money from, or were associated with autism clinics. In this case, the alleged scheme boils down to charging Medicaid millions for care they didn't actually provide. Since 2017, Medicaid reimbursement claims in Minnesota skyrocketed from just under $2 million to more than $250 million.
I just want to pause there.
Mhm.
I just want you to appreciate these numbers. In over a period of 8 years, inclusive, 2017 and 2024, it went from 1.7 million to $250 million. 200 and Minnesota, that's just Medicaid. Medicaid reimbursements went from 1.7 to 250. That's I did the math on this. It's a 14,000% increase.
Lord.
It's astonishing.
It's
astonishing. So to the extent that you want to say that, this was incompetence, I say, imagine you're the CEO of a company and one of your vital expenses goes up by 14,000%. When it goes up by 1,000%, you damn well better notice.
Oh, 100%. Yeah, that's a big drop in the bucket.
But you see that it's gone up over a period of 8 years by 14,000%.
Look the other way, right? That's how we're doing it, right?
It's impossible to not notice that.
But I think they did.
No. My point is that's impossible. It's impossible. Now, not to mention the fact that there was 400 whistleblowers who came forward and said, we reported that there was this fraud going on, and we were retaliated against for reporting it. So they knew the fraud. That's what I'm saying. This is willful complicity. That they're complicit in this. There's got to be a reason you do this. And they say that there was likely kickbacks. I really think Tim Walz and other politicians might be in serious trouble here.
I would hope so. I mean, I would definitely hope so. But the sad part, though, in modern politics and in our modern day, you really can't say yes or no. You can't.
What do you
know
mean
what I
by
mean?
that? No.
Well, in our modern society now in America, they could have this massive increase in this massive fraud, and Tim Walz would still walk for some nebulous reason.
Well, they say in federal court you're less likely to get as hard Democrat. The reason for that is because you're bringing in jurors from across the state.
I get that, but
so the jury pool may have a whole bunch of Republicans on it in federal court. Even if you're looking at Minneapolis as being,
see, don't you find that gross though that you have to look at it that way instead of just people doing? That's my point, though.
That is gross. It is gross, but
it is the reality that we live in. Which at this at this stage, they could get one too many Democrats, and boom, Walz walks for something like this. This is an egregious amount of money to be just thrown away out there. Yeah.
Yeah, it is crazy. Yeah, so I'll just play the rest of this report.
Insurance is driving what providers are providing as opposed to what patients need.
A major fear of Ellie Wilson, the executive director of Autism Society of Minnesota. According to the search warrant, many of the kids receiving autism services at Smart Therapy did not appear to be autistic. The warrant alleges Smart Therapy hired young relatives who had no formal education and who were usually just on their phones all day.
So there you go. There you go. So at least we're getting somewhere. There are raids, there's investigations. I've been covering that story a bunch this week, but now we're learning that there's investigations and raids, so things are going well there. You want to know what state is? So, but they're saying that there's like potentially 1.7 billion. They're looking at 1.7 billion in fraud there, and estimates are as high as 6 to 8 billion in fraud.
That's a big old number right there.
6 to 8 billion. 6 to 8 billion. 6 to 8 billion. Crazy. That's insane high, right?
Yeah, that's extremely high. Yeah.
What if you learned a state which has 10 billion in fraud? You'd be like, oh my God. What the hell is wrong with you?
Yeah.
Or 15.
15 is way more egregious. Why the smirk is coming over your face again?
20 billion.
Nah.
What about 20 billion? You
20
think
billion
that's
in fraud.
possible?
You're going to tell me we've got all this stuff going on in this country, and you got
You
these
think that's
bleeding
possible
hearts.
that one state could have 20 billion in fraud?
Yes, but I really don't want to, if that makes
Greetings, everyone. Kevin Dalton here. I know everyone is talking about welfare fraud right now. Minnesota, Tim Walz, $1 billion. Can you believe $250 million alone went to a fake meal program? Shameful. I can see why everyone was talking about it. If Minnesotans were to pay this off, it would cost them about $175 a piece. Who's got that kind of money, right? Also, I should mention Gavin Newsom has racked up about $50 billion in welfare fraud since becoming governor. I'm going to say that again because it's insane. $50 billion. The state has fallen for every prank, every grift imaginable. They even gave $1 billion to prison inmates. Literally, anyone that wants money can get it. So $50 billion, Gavin Newsom knows he's going to have to pay this off, right? Well, he got a loan from the federal government for $20 billion. Still hasn't paid it off. Hasn't paid off the loan to the federal government, which is now costing $600 million in interest payments in 2025 alone. Guess what? That's going to be more in 2026. If you're a business owner, you know you are paying an extra $500 per employee to help pay this off. If Californians decided to get together and pay off this fraud debt, it would cost them $1,400.
was right.
Yeah. $1,400 from every Californian.
I don't think that every Californian. I don't think most people in America have $1,400 just laying around.
Yeah, and I assume if it's a family of 5, then you're talking like $7,000.
Easy. Yeah,
I'm saying $1,400 a person.
Yeah, you got to do it per person. Then yeah, you got it. That's easy math.
I know everyone's talking about welfare fraud in Minnesota. It's 40 times worse in Gavin Newsom's California.
Unbelievable. Now, I don't know if the numbers are quite that high. I actually did a little digging on this. I was like, that sounds kind of crazy. It can't be that bad. But it's definitely 20 to 30 billion. Like 50 is on the high end of things, but it's definitely 20 to 30 billion. So, yeah. This is the guy who wants to be our next president. He wants to be our next president. The reason I brought up asking you if you had seen my debate is because one of the clips, this clip here that I was planning on bringing up, I don't even understand. It's like I almost, this is where I feel as if I struggle to relate to the world I'm trying to exist in. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
This is how this is coined. This constitutional lawyer lays out an ironclad case against Trump and this administration. You want to hear John Bonifaz?
Yeah, of course I do. What are you talking about?
Right. No mocking his voice.
You can't stop. Joe, why do you keep
Good morning, everyone. The framers were clear. The framers were clear. There would be no monarchs, no tyrants who would govern this nation, no kings in America. They set out to establish 3 co-equal branches of government.
Oh, it's killing me. It's killing me.
They set out to establish 3.
Okay.
You hear me? I'm super cereal right now.
I would so love to hear him singing the Lollipop Guild song. We represent.
Seriously, I said no queens. I mean kings. Look at my serious face.
Looks like he has his dad's jacket on.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Oh, Joe,
But this
why
is
are you...
you have to hear the iron. This is the reason I brought this up.
Why do you got Jim Satalo on? Jim tells you is on in the background, everybody.
Yeah, I was setting up the redirect there. That's why.
Woo!
I'm
Yeah.
super cereal. Super cereal.
So he's going to lay out an ironclad case. Ironclad. Okay. Let's hear the ironclad case.
Article 1 for the United States Congress.
Mm-hmm.
Article 2 for the presidency.
You could tell. You could tell he's a constitutional expert because he knows which article refers to which branch of government. So right there, this guy is just genius.
Article 3 for the judiciary. 3 co-equal branches of government. No kings.
Not really.
In America.
No kings.
But they set up an extra guardrail. An extra guardrail for that day when a president was so trample on the
several guardrails there.
So trample on the rule of law that president would need to be impeached and removed from public office. Section 4.
It's not easy.
Article 2. The impeachment clause. We have reached that moment today. Donald Trump has committed multiple abuses of power since assuming the oath of office.
All right, here's the ironclad. Let's hear the ironclad. Okay, all the facts and evidence.
As Jessica said at impeachtrumpagain.org, we have been documenting in detail these abuses of power. 25 distinct grounds for impeaching and removing this lawless president. Disappearing people from the streets and sending them to foreign torture prisons. An abuse of power, an impeachable offense. Detaining and removing unlawfully U.S. residents without due process of law. An abuse of power, an impeachable offense. Creating treason and levying treason against the people of the United States.
He's creating treason. I don't know how you create treason. He's creating treason. This is the ironclad arguments. This is he's creating treason. What?
He's creating treason. Seriously.
What?
I don't think you're taking me seriously.
I don't know. It's like this is like what you call a conclusory statement. I'm not giving you any facts to support it, but it's like he's attacking the Americans. That's treason. Yeah. This is what they call ironclad. Because they don't understand what a sound argument is. It's just like someone who's barking and just screaming, he's guilty. So now let's throw him down. And he's guilty of helping Russia. So we need to throw him in jail. And he's guilty of, it's like, we need to impeach him because he's guilty of kickbacks. He's guilty of removing illegal aliens.
Sending the military into our nation's cities against its people.
What's against its people?
An abuse of power.
Abuse of power.
An impeachable offense. Attacking the United States Congress, usurping its authority to appropriate money. Congress, under Article 1, has the power to
so levying tariffs. He has to be impeached.
Appropriate funds. This president goes ahead and freezes trillions of dollars of duly appropriated funds.
So anyhow, he just goes on and on. This is what they call ironclad. I'm like, I'm not even trying. I'm not even trying to do this sort of thing. I'm not even trying. I'd be embarrassed. I'd be embarrassed if I did a performance like this. This guy's getting up in front of microphones saying this idiocy. Unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. Money invested in the S&P 500. DMU pick Susan today. Oh, okay. Maybe we got a better picture of Susan. Less like Lady Elaine. Let's see. Do you want me to share it with you?
You might as well. What are you doing? Stop with the looks today. All right. What do we got? You can't. I can't. No. Stop sharing.
I asked you.
Oh no.
And she's like a good person. She's donating $6 billion to American children.
Oh man. She's doing a great deed. She really is. And
She's an amazing person.
I'm not gonna say anything like you did earlier about her. I was very polite. I didn't make any comments. Now you, on the other hand, are a disgusting individual.
I don't know what you're talking about. They crossbred Jimmy Stewart. Elmer Fudd. It's abomination. It's abomination.
Look here, Derna. Okay.
It's a fish this big.
Look here, Derna. You better respect me. Okay.
George Bailey.
That's Mr. Bailey to you. All right.
Joe, I would like your thoughts on the new Diddy doc by 50 Cent. I haven't seen it. But remember, for 7 months, God bless you, brother. God bless you. I haven't seen that, so I can't help you with that.
She can't blink, but Godspeed. What? Come on, Chad.
Maybe she can. So, did you ever hear of Terry Moran?
No, I don't think so. Why does that sound familiar?
This is Terry Moran.
Okay.
Is independent journalist, lucky husband, dads, Cubs, Bulls, Da Bears.
Da Bears.
Yeah. Here's Terry Moran going on his little rant about Trump referring to Somalians as garbage.
Who is he calling garbage?
We're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great.
The President of the United States calls Somali Americans, including thousands of U.S. citizens.
No, he called Ilhan Omar and her friends garbage.
Garbage. First, it's a stupid.
Listen to him panting.
Thing to say. There are about 200,000 Somali Americans.
He didn't say all Somalians.
Refugees, immigrants, and American-born kids, too.
Why are you reading it that way? He really didn't say that.
And they came here because they believe that America keeps her promise, that this land...
Where was this guy when Biden called millions of MAGA folks garbage? Where were you? You're so offended.
No, he was agreeing.
Yeah. He's such
obviously
he's so stupid. Like he's so hypocritical.
He's big enough and brave enough to offer safety and dignity and upward mobility to hard workers and big dreamers from around the world.
Hard workers,
just like my Irish ancestors, probably like your ancestors too.
Yeah, your ancestors weren't stealing billions of dollars in fraud.
Only Americans are working hard. They're starting.
And many of them are, I'm sure. Many of them are.
Businesses, paying taxes, raising families. Second, presidents should not talk like that.
You shouldn't talk like you either. You're a poor example of how people should talk.
Agreed.
You're misrepresenting what he says. You're standing here hypocritically yelling at him. Where was your outrage over Biden, who literally called millions of Americans garbage? You were agreeing with him. So buzz off.
No, same thing with Hillary Clinton too. Yeah, he probably agreed with him. So
yeah, they call us deplorables.
And should call any other human being garbage. But Trump does it, not just because he is that kind of.
Is this guy cross-eyed?
Political reasons.
I didn't notice that, but now that you're pointing it out,
he wants to drag people.
Oh my God,
he's cross-eyed. Come on, bro. I can't take you seriously anymore.
What is happening here?
Look, I was because of you guffawing about the Dell lady, which I honestly don't think the Dell lady looks that bad. you were being weirdly passive aggressive with your jokes, and it was messing
I
with
don't-
me. But
I
I
don't know
think
what-
she is. I'm being serious. I think she is not as bad as everybody's making it out to be.
Right.
This guy, on the other hand, is. I'm supposed to take him seriously
This is the Cylon effect.
as he's.
Vroom, 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 vroom.
Drag people down to his
He's
level.
wearing a weave.
Give them permission to become the worst version of themselves. And
Oh God! Even oh my God!
I feel like he's looking exactly at my nose.
Yes, yes, both of them are. Both eyes are looking at
Yeah,
the bridge.
just
Like
100% at
it's
my
like you have.
nose.
It's like you have a zit on your nose, and he
Yeah, and he
cannot
just
look
can't
away.
stop staring.
He
Yeah.
can't look away.
Look, man, I've been trying. All right, look me in my. Stop it, Joe. I want the other
Blame
guy's
him.
voice with this guy's eyes.
Hey, come on!
Should not be calling anybody garbage. Seriously.
in remaking our country in his image.
Why do you have a
Really look at
partially
those
lazy
people
eye,
around the
though?
table in the White House. Most of them, they know better, but not a single one. Not
Stop
one.
talking to me like
Oh,
you're my
Lord.
dad, and I just brought in a D on my report card. I hate this sort. I hate this.
Yeah,
These people are gross.
Said a word, and they never
because he's high and mighty.
Yeah.
will. They sold their souls to Trump, and think of the cost.
Yeah,
Sure. Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Like he's
Let's
coming in
speak
here
carefully.
on his high horse to tell
Mhm.
us what's presidential. It's interesting
Somebody
you said
says,
that.
does he see the camera? If his eyes are crossed like that, he sees two cameras. Yeah. Now get
Who
up.
is
Get
he
off your high
calling
horse.
gar-
So this guy over here says, "Here, these are the people that are garbage." I'll give you lots of examples of pure garbage. This is great.
Our country should be more. Our country should be more fearful.
Your use of the word "our" bothers me. Our country? No, my country. Our country, not your country.
Of white man across our country because
Why does this terrorist still have a fucking platform in this country? Like seriously, this lady married her fucking cousin. Why does
Brother.
this Durka gets the fucking? Why does she get to talk? Why does this?
I didn't watch all these clips yet, but why is this Durka get to talk?
Why does this fucking woman get to talk? No, I'm serious. Why did she get to talk? This Somalian should go back to Somalia ASAP.
they are actually causing most of the deaths within this country.
Now watch what's going to happen, right? They're going to vilify what I just said when she just lied and said that white men are causing the deaths in this country. That's a fucking lie. She's the racist, not me. I don't like her because of her character. If she had better character, we wouldn't have a problem. But she hates America. Fuck her.
Aggressive.
Look at this rooms, motherfuckers! We ain't going anywhere! Look at
These are the people that are garbage.
caawa aan fursad u helay madaxweynaha
Our
Soomaaliya
president.
madaxweyne Xasan Sheikh.
That's her president, apparently. That's her president.
We have to destroy the idea of America in our heads, in our neighbors' heads, in our comrades' heads, in everybody's heads.
That's these people. They're garbage. They are pure garbage. Pure through and through. You heard about the whole double tap scandal?
No. What is this?
Double tap is what the left is calling the two shots on that were taken on the narco boat that they're trying to claim was a war crime. You're going to be hearing a lot more about this. They're making it. They're trying to make a big stink about the fact that when there was we've blown up a bunch of boats, mostly in the Caribbean, some in the Pacific. These narco terrorists. Trump actually created an operation called Operation Southern Spear, where basically we're drone striking and using robotics and drones to just take out these terrorists before they come here. The idea here is that they're literally being state aided, like the country of Venezuela is helping them, helping Tren de Aragua, like bring their poison drugs, fentanyl, to America. And they're, it's not like the police are trying to stop them. They help them, the Venezuelan police, which is, they've been referred to as terrorists. Well, apparently there's a big outcry because the New York Times reported that they had sources that establish that the first such boat to be sunk was on September 1st. It was reported on September 2nd. Trump came out and announced on September 2nd that they basically drone struck a boat. And Hegseth was there. Some folks are saying he said, kill them all. And that there were 2 survivors of the initial strike. And sometime like a half hour after, they shot on a second strike and killed the remaining people there. So saying killing these people in that circumstance is a war crime, and that Hegseth has to be held accountable. He was not he said he watched the beginning of the operation, but there was another person who was overseeing it. He wasn't there when the second strike happened. He was explaining about the fog of war, and that you don't understand that people sitting in their cozy air conditioned office don't understand what it's like to be there in the fog of war.
Okay.
And that what Bradley ordered was 100% correct and the appropriate step. Bradley was the head of the operation. He made the right call.
Yeah.
To issue that second strike. And that no, they're not. And so basically they're saying now once you hit them the first time, now they are survivors and you have a duty to rescue them. This is what the left is saying.
Wait, what?
Once you shoot at them the first time, now the boat is blown up. So the survivor, you have to save the survivors, and that you are executing the survivors instead, and that's considered a war crime. And they're saying the second shot is double tap. That's what they're calling it. Like you double tap, like two shots. Where only one was necessary.
I get the concept, but how does that make sense? Wait, do we have that in any of our military code that you blow up a boat and then you have a duty to go there and rescue the people? Like, do we have that? Like, have you looked that up at all? I mean, I've got military family. I can ask them if they know anything about it.
I'm doing better than that. Don't worry.
Oh, okay.
I came prepared.
Okay, yeah, sure.
I came
All
prepared.
right, let's see how it is. Well, just make fun of my family in front of me. Why don't you? All right.
Here's what the left is saying. I don't remember this guy's name. I think his name is Harry Sisson. I'm not sure.
Oh yeah, that guy is really well, he's there.
Right. So this is Harry this is Harry Sisson weighing in over here.
Why are we blowing out of the water?
Why does he look so much more manly? Okay.
So Harry's got questions.
Got you. Yeah.
Why are we blowing out of the water and killing people in boats with outboard motors, some of which aren't even pointed towards the United States, let alone verified to have drugs on them, let alone even if they were coming to the United States and they had the capacity to reach the United States and they were filled with drugs, why isn't it possible to just interdict them the way that we do with the Coast Guard, where you go and take the drugs and then put those people on trial and investigate and then follow the drugs to their source of origin and then take care of it there? Like, none of this makes any sense.
None of it.
Why are we?
That's what Harry's perspective is. I'm going to introduce you to a very based individual named Jim Hansen. I guess it's not. It's Maddow. Maddow can't grasp the drug war. Says we should interdict, investigate, follow the drugs to their point of origin, and take care of it there. Okay, that's Venezuela. So will Maduro help destroy his own drug trade? Or does she think we should take care of it there ourselves? I mean, I guess we should invade. That's what she's basically saying. Let's just go there. Let's go to them.
Yeah.
But I want you to, you'll see, I have a lot more from this guy, Jim Hansen, because he's awesome. I've taught the laws of armed conflict to U.S. military allied troops. It's comical to have online experts inform me the laws of war do not apply to killing terrorists because Congress didn't declare a war. Wrong. That's not true.
Yeah.
You can't make a second strike at a boat you're sinking because there might be wounded on board. Wrong. It's murder to kill designated terrorists. Wrong. I'm sorry if
I'm starting to think
once they're
they might be
designated
wrong.
as terrorists,
Mhm.
there's nothing you're allowed to kill them.
Yeah.
I'm sorry if it gives you sads that our commander-in-chief has decided to stop letting the cartels kill Americans by smuggling poison into our country. Here's a video of narco-terrorists being turned into an oil slick to cheer you up. I love it. This guy's awesome. Look at this. Oh!
Nice.
Yeah. Very impressive. So there you go. That was impressive. Swimming down this. Oh no. Yeah, so that was that's what he shared out. I'm a big fan of this guy, Jim Hansen. I got more from him. This is him with Jesse Waters.
Former U.S. Army Special Forces and president of World Strat, Jim Hansen. All right, Jim, if it takes 2 airstrikes to take out a Coke boat and the passengers, is that a war crime?
Absolutely not. It's comical to watch them try to decide what the rules of warfare are based on the idea that they just don't want President Trump conducting it. I think they might be shocked to know what the commander-in-chief powers are under Article 2 of the Constitution. He can do pretty much whatever he wants in pursuit of our national security. So if he hears Vladimir Putin is about to launch missiles at us, he can go ahead and nuke from orbit to be sure. He's got the authority to do any of that. So the idea that he can't blow up a drug boat and make sure that it's blown up is absurd.
All right. Do you find it suspicious that
Even if it's on fire and there are people in the ocean, he's like, I don't want them having access to those drugs, because they're just going to take it back to port.
Yeah.
And ship it out again. So I want to sink the boat. Boat's not sunk. I don't care if there are people there. I don't care if there's terrorists there. Like, I don't care that there are people that might be survivors. There's nothing wrong with that. It's perfectly legal.
these former CIA people, these former officers in the U.S. military got out ahead of this operation, and then mysteriously this double tap strike controversy leaks from the Washington Post, and now they want to start prosecuting people at the Pentagon?
That's what they're saying.
Yeah, no, this is obviously coordinated. You know, I mean, I've heard people say it resembles a color revolution they're running against us. And I think it's
I love these new Democratic videos that they're doing.
Pete Hegseth called in Admiral Brad.
I got very angry about this. I've been screaming
Did
about
you?
that. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
I think what they did was very, very evil.
I don't disagree is what I was trying to say.
Right.
That it is very evil, but I think it. So you think this is going to become a bigger issue?
Much bigger. Much
okay.
bigger. I think the Democratic Party is trying to co-opt our military. They're trying to get a significant percentage of our military to disregard orders. That's what they want.
Well, they've been doing that. That's
Well,
one of the reasons why my
but now,
brother
when
decided
they're
to leave because
well,
of what
that's-
they were doing.
And they're threatening they're going to prosecute you for following his orders because we're later going to decide that it's unconstitutional. So that's a very dangerous thing. We need our military to be to act with alacrity and not to be hesitating as to, oh my gosh, am I going to get prosecuted for this because someone's
that's
going
what
to
kept
pretend
us-
this is unconstitutional.
It's what kept us bogged down in Afghanistan for so long.
It's just
tying the military's hands.
Yeah,
100%.
you got to let them do what they need to do.
And he said, hey, I got a mission for you. We're going to blow up a drug boat. But wait, there's more. If anybody survives, I want you to go back and double tap them and drop an ace of spades.
I like this. This refer to Seditious Six as the SS.
They know we mean business. I mean, it's like they're watching bad Vietnam War movies.
So It is widely reported that the CIA has run operations in Central and South America. A lot
Richard
of
Parker makes a good point.
We've heard the controversies and we know the scandals. Does it strike you as coincidental that former CIA guys and girls are against and are trying to sabotage U.S. operations in Latin America against these narco traffickers?
Not in the slightest. They've got the most to cover up that they don't want being exposed. And they have the natural aversion to President Trump doing what he campaigned on and keeping America safe, kicking bad immigrants and criminals out.
And you're right that SCOTUS ultimately determines it. But the point is, if you're in the military, and I mentioned this, I think like an hour or so ago, under the rules of the military, unless it's manifestly unconstitutional, even if it might be unconstitutional, you are obligated to follow that order as if it's fully constitutional. You're not sitting there subject and they want to say like, oh, when you send them into city, that's unconstitutional. So what are they trying to threat? They're implicitly, if you put together all the things they're saying, so now if you're a member of the National Guard and you go and help protect ICE, and you're taking over a city that you don't have a right to take over in DC or some other city, that you're going to be prosecuted.
Yeah.
That's what they're trying to, so they want to have defection. They're trying to promote defection in our army. That is a crime. That's something they need to be prosecuted for, because imagine if you have, and it's not just the SS who are doing this. You have Hakeem Jeffries threatening, we're going to prosecute you. That's the entire Democratic Party's new platform is we're going to prosecute members of our military who follow his orders.
Who follow orders.
This is a very dangerous thing.
Game. Yeah. No, I see exactly what you're saying now. Yeah, if they're going to continue down this road, then this is going to be very huge.
Yeah. This is subverting our entire military.
Declaring the narco terrorists to be terrorists and then stopping them from killing Americans. All of that is anathema to these left-wing revolutionaries, and they'll do anything they can to stop it.
Yeah, I mean, I knew they'd obstruct Trump from pretty much everything, but the war on drugs, that's where they're drawing the line. That reeks. Someone's making a lot of money in that, and that reeks, Jim. Great to talk to you as always.
Good to be with you.
Yes, that's Jim Hansen. Dude is awesome.
Yeah, he's really good.
And even Donald Trump recognized. Great job by Jim Hansen, former U.S. Army Special Forces, on Jesse Waters tonight. Really strong and knowledgeable on war against drugs. So there you go. And he retweeted that. So I got fever, and the only prescription is more Hansen. Yeah. It's like we need these old guard guys like him and Tom Homan.
I think they've been hiding for a while, and they're now able to come out and actually, the Overton window is shifting in a lot of things, and I think it's good that these guys are coming out and actually saying something.
Yeah,
and doing it in a way that is not boring and bland and just like the typical talking points of political pundits. So I mean, I enjoy that. That was a good tweet. Whoever taught him how to use Twitter did it right. So
this is true. This is definitely true. So I think it's time for us to start landing our plane. We've honored our commitments.
Yeah.
And we've done what we're supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's time for us to start landing the plane. So I'm hoping that I shared this is, in case you joined late. This is Cynical Podcaster. I always call him Sin.
That's Stimulated Cynic, aka Sin, from the FFS podcast.
There you go.
We cover a lot of indie comics lately. That's been our bread and butter. But we do a lot of pop culture stuff too. We're gonna do a story on the Camelot 331, where YouTube was taking his monies and what's going on with that here. Probably Monday, but we've got a lot of other stuff we got to get through this weekend. But we stream Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and Monday at 6:05 Central Standard Time, except for on Sundays it's 4:05. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, go ahead. Finish.
No. So just subscribe, come check us out, and
let's get him over 1,000. This guy needs to get there.
Yes.
So really I would be appreciative if you guys could head on over there, click the link, hit subscribe. You can bounce back here. It'll take you 2 seconds.
Yeah,
you
really
might miss a lot during those 2 seconds, but it's worth it.
Who knows?
Hands One Pack says a 10% return average is 700,000. This is not adding any more to principal. If you take 1251 born, add $80 a month with 8% return until 67, you get 2.2 million. $8 a month is the average amount each person spends on coffee each month. I'm questioning if I'm a Jew now. So there you go. Also says reason USA has not won war since World War II is politicians try to run war like it has actual rules. Yep, indeed. All right. I'm going to be redirecting you all over to Jim Tells You. That's already good. That's already set up and good to go. So say hi to him when you get on over there. That'd be nice. Let's give him a hello from me. And yeah, I thank you all for joining me. I guess all I have left to say is, Sin.
Yeah.
Have you ever had lab meat?
No. That's
because it's not meant for you. It's meant for they them.
Okay, yeah, that's
Right.
what I heard. Yeah.
And do not eat the bugs. Don't do it. Have a good night, everyone. And as always, Godspeed.
Bye.